All right. What is up, guys? So I believe we're live. Yeah, I think we're live. It's been it's been quite a while since I've done anything anything on a stage or anything on a webinar or anything on a training. So this is interesting. It's a lot of fun. It's like the first time that I've gotten some butterflies in quite a while, which which is saying a lot because I've had so much going on personally, professionally. So I'm really excited to be doing this. This is a interesting format in the sense that I didn't want to sit down and shoot another course, right? So I've explained this to a lot of you guys here, right? I didn't want to sit down and shoot another course, and everything with TikTok is changing so fast. The platform's changing so fast, um, and by the way, I think we have because we have a few members of my team on here. So Ronnie, can you mute your mic, please? I'm getting a lot of background noise from you. There you go. Okay, that's the beauty of doing this live, right? Is my DSLR didn't work, so I had to restart my computer and switch my webcam. So I have backup cam, so the camera's not as good. But anyway, the platform changes so fast. We've been on this platform for about a year now. The last 6 months, super hard, and we're testing new stuff every week. We're testing new beta features, alpha features. The reps are connecting with stuff. We're bringing on new clients. We're trying more stuff with them. And so I was like, I'm just going to do something live. I'm going to do a live, block out a chunk of time, get a good amount of people on there, and just jam. So that's what we're going to do tonight. There's going to be no fluff. And this is one final caveat on the webinar thing. This is the beauty, I think, of doing a premium kind of a paid webinar versus just like a free webinar. One is just like the attendance rate is way better, right? So I imagine like everyone is going to be on here except for people. We have some people in Europe and Asia and stuff, which is awesome. And two, like this is going to be just no fluff. There's going to be no like me telling you I used to feel crappy doing webinars. I was like, I spend like 30 minutes doing the setup and the story and all that stuff. Like tonight, we're going to switch over to slides. I'm going to just dive right in, right? So we're just going to cover a ton of stuff. So let me share my screen. Let's share over to Keynote. And then I'm going to open this up wide open once we get started. And we're going to close down the chat. I'm just going to kind of explain how everything's going to work tonight. So everyone should be able to see my screen right now. And again, we're going to go full screen once we get started. But I just want to kind of do a quick like here's how it's going to work tonight, so everyone's familiar with the format. We're all on the same page. Okay. So right now we have the chat open. I just wanted to see everyone, digitally see everyone, right, and say hi to everyone, and so many friends and familiar names in the group, which is amazing and exciting and all that good stuff. So the chat's open right now. Everything's kind of interactive right now. Once we get started, once I go to the next slide and we really start this thing, we're going to shut the chat down just to get rid of distractions. Because I find what happens when people doing webinars a lot or trainings is like they get distracted by the chats coming in. All of a sudden a question comes in or a comment comes in, it throws them off. So we just want to stay laser focused on the training and provide value and keep this super efficient. So we're going to shut the chat down. A lot of you have already submitted your questions beforehand. So I have a really good sheet of like 50 plus questions. So we have a lot of questions to get to. So at the end of the presentation, that's when we're going to open the chat back up and we're going to dive into Q&A and make it much more interactive at the end. So if you didn't submit your questions beforehand, and maybe because a lot of people just kind of bought in the last 2 hours. So if you didn't kind of pre-submit questions, no problem. There's a Q&A feature in Zoom. Hit the Q&A icon and drop your question as I'm talking, and it'll get added to the list. It'll be on the back of the list though, so it might take a little while to get to. Final thing, because I see this being a recurring comment in here, this is being recorded. We have redundancies in place. We have multiple recordings happening right now. So everyone here or not here that purchased the masterclass will get access to this recording. What we're going to do is we're going to export it over the weekend. We're going to upload it to Thinkific, which is our course platform where we host all of our courses, and you will all be kind of manually added to that. And you all have access to that for as long as Thinkific exists. Okay. So, and then if everything happened to Thinkific, we put on another platform, but basically lifetime access to it. So you'll get lifetime access to this. I'll send the slides out as well. And any resources we use here will all get sent out. So basically, you don't have to worry about anything, right? You're gonna get the replay, you're gonna get the recording, you get the slides, all that good stuff. All I want everyone here to do tonight is have fun and learn. That's all I want, right? This is should be a kind of value knowledge packed few hours. Make sure you have a notebook, make sure you have a coffee, a water, energy drink, multiple energy, whatever it is, right? So, because it's going to be a good amount of time, but I promise it's going to be super efficient and we're only going to cover stuff that's going to be of value to you. So that's that. Like I said, we're going to be turning off the chat now. Looks like we got a good chunk of people in here, which is awesome. And then the rest of the people are just, international stuff. So on that note, we'll kill the chat and we will get started and rock and roll. So let's do that. Zach and the team, anybody who's kind of watching now, if you guys want to kind of disable the chat feature and all that good stuff, I'm going to close it out on my end. I'm going to hit down. Yep, it's closed down. Awesome. So we got that closed down. I'm going to hit the full screen. I'm actually going to stop the share real quick. I'm going to re-enable it because there's an audio feature I need to enable because I'm going to be sharing a lot of real videos with you guys. We're sharing like probably 15, 20 plus different ad examples and kind of real case studies. So I want to make sure that the audio is coming through when I do that. So I need to check share sound. There we go. Keynote masterclass. And I maybe just bear with me, guys, like throughout tonight's training, I may be going to my iPhone to show you guys some of the apps we're using. I may be just kind of going back and forth through different tools. We're going to be going into the platform. So each one of those transitions may take, a few seconds or a minute or so, just like the iPhone needs to go onto the network. So a few little things. So just bear with me as we do that. Again, this is 100% live. This is the first time I've done this, probably the only time I'm going to do it. So I'm sure there'll be some bloopers and some mistakes. So I appreciate everyone in advance bearing with me. So here we go. Let's get started. No fluff, no story about me. If you're here, you probably know who I am because we didn't run ads for this. So everyone here probably is already pretty familiar. So we're not going to do any of that stuff. Here's what we're covering tonight. Okay. So we're going to break this down into a few sections. First is kind of basic setup. So we're going to talk about the different type of ad accounts, self-serve versus manage. We're going to walk through the business center, kind of all the basic stuff of getting started when it comes to advertising on the platform. We're going to talk about the pixel, the different types of pixels. So kind of the standard pixel versus the dev mode pixel, which one to use, which type of brand should use which, what are the benefits, pros and cons of each one. And I'm also going to show just kind of the scripts you should be using to set it up. That way you guys can just kind of save that screenshot and know the exact scripts to install if you're not using Shopify. We're going to talk about launching. So essentially what that means, that section is going to be kind of our initial launch structure. So what does that initial campaign look like? What does our initial budgeting look like? How many ad groups, size of the ad groups, how many creatives are running? So kind of that 101, like this is what we're doing day one with a new client, with a new account. We're going to spend a lot of time. And let me pull out this annotation tool. I got this cool little spotlight tool. I'm really excited. This vanishing pen. I'm actually really excited to use this little thing. There we go. Look at that. And it slowly vanishes. So we're going to spend a lot of time on creative. And I'll get into why in just a second. Then we're going to cover audiences. So the type of audiences that we make, type of audiences that we target, the different breakdowns. We're going to talk about kind of testing. So what happens post-launch? What are some of the core elements that we're testing? What are we trying out? We're going to talk about scaling. So some of our best practices when it comes to scaling, when to scale, what to do with scale. And then we're going to talk about retargeting best practices. And lastly, we're going to wrap it up with Q&A. There's a lot of questions. I'd imagine I went through a good amount of them. And I know a few were coming in still towards the end. A lot of the questions will be answered in the presentation. So most of the training already kind of answers a lot of the questions I saw. So if I do skip a question, it's not that I'm like, just ignored your question. It's because I believe that question was like 100% answered. Anything that I don't think, like, I'm not 100% confident, like this clearly was answered, even if it's similar, I'm going to answer. And if you feel like, hey, I know Max thinks he answered that completely, but I still don't think I have the answer, you can just kind of re-ping me towards the end. But anyway, we're going to spend a lot of time on this. This is part of why I wanted to do this live, because there's a lot of courses out there, a lot of trainings, and I've been a part of it. I've made a lot of courses that share a lot of stuff, but like, it's not hyper relevant to every single person, right? A lot of people have different business, different brands, or at different points in their business. There's people on here right now, I imagine, that have never run TikTok before. There's people on here who are just starting. There's people on here who are running and spending a decent amount, right? There's different brackets of people. There's agencies on here. There's brand owners on here. There's offer owners on here. There's info product business owners, e-com business owners, right? So the Q&A part was very, very important for me, and I want to make sure we spend a good amount of time on that. Okay. So let's hit the next slide here. Okay, so this is the biggest kind of misconception. I want to share some stats. I want to share some numbers. This part's going to be geared towards anybody on here that is either a total newbie or on the fence or hasn't advertised on TikTok, which is a good chunk based on the polling we did with the group. It is no longer just a kind of Gen Z app for people to do dances. Now, if you open the app for the first time organically as a user, you'll probably see that in your feed, because it takes about 7 to 10 days before their algorithm figures out what you like and starts to personalize that For You page, right? What we've seen over the last year, and specifically over the last 6 months, is the demo on TikTok rapidly aging up. I'm going to share some stats on that age growth there. We're seeing success with quite a few businesses in very different industries. So we're running offers for supplement brands. We're running ad accounts for beauty brands. We're running ad accounts for gadget brands. We're running ad accounts for lead gen in refi, in education, in crypto. We're running stuff for SaaS, and I'll show some of the clients we're working with in just a second. And price point wise, we're running ads for brands that have price point on the products from like $9 all the way up to $9.97 and more. So we've been selling some high ticket kind of crypto and trading programs. So we're able to make all those businesses work on the platform. So just to give perspective, I know, because one of the big questions is going to be like, hey, well, is my customer on TikTok? Is it just TikTok, just a bunch of 18-year-old girls who don't spend any money, right? That's a misconception. That's not the reality. Here's some of the brands we're working with. So this is kind of a sampling, and we've been onboarding more and more in the last month, especially, and we just continue to grow the agency side of the business. So we're running all the TikTok for ClickFunnels, for Posh Peanut, $100 million a year baby clothing brand. That's one of the fastest growing baby clothing brands in the world, which ironically is we've spent probably more money personally in the last year on them for Quinn than we've gotten back yet in the first month. So I got to recoup my investment there. That's all we buy. No BS Skincare, a massively successful skincare brand that was recently acquired by a large private equity firm. Dugout Mugs, an amazing company that makes they take baseball bat handles and turn them into mugs. Amazing brand. They have a license with MLB, all the teams growing crazy fast. On It, Goalie, Neurogum. And then there's a bunch of other brands that are very, very successful, growing very fast, but probably aren't as, well known, that aren't as, known at the household level. Okay. So let's talk for just a minute about the primary difference between Facebook and YouTube and Snapchat and Twitter and a lot of platforms out there versus TikTok. Because this is really important from both a organic perspective, if you're using TikTok organically, and from a paid advertising perspective. So all the social media apps out there that you advertise on, right? Twitter, Facebook, Snap, all those, they're built on social graphs, right? That was a big innovation that Zuckerberg had with Facebook, is this idea that what you see, when you see it, all of that is based around who you're friends with, who you're following, who you're connected with, okay? With TikTok, it is content-based, meaning that it is completely democratized. That's why it's grown so fast organically, because everybody has basically the same shot at going viral, whether you're brand new and have 1 follower or whether you have 10 million followers. So basically on the organic side, like when you post a video, TikTok then takes that video and shows it to a sampling of users over a 2-hour window. It gauges the engagement rate, the view through rates, all the numbers. And based on that performance and how it compares to other videos being posted at the time, that determines delivery and distribution. Okay. So if a really high quality video gets posted, regardless of who posted it, it will get amplification. So it's really important to understand this, because when it comes to advertising on the platform, content and creative is everything, right? It is everything. It's a huge part of how the algorithm works in terms of ad ranking. It's a huge part in terms of how your ad performs, right? So, and that's why a big part of tonight's training is going to be designed around creative and showing lots of examples of creative, showing lots of tips, how to research creative, how to create creative, all that stuff. Okay, so let's hit on some stats again, just to continue to, for anybody that's still on the fence here, just to kind of demonstrate how big TikTok is and how serious competitor is to the kind of triopoly right now when it comes to online ad spend, which is Amazon, Facebook, Google. So recently passed 1 billion monthly active users. That's a massive number, 1 billion monthly active users, 3 billion plus downloads. It's the only non-Facebook app to hit that milestone. That's really impressive, right? And by non-Facebook app, I mean Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, right? They're all individual apps. This is something I talked about kind of in the first or second slide when I talked about aging up. So, and this is from just tests we've done. If you go into your ad groups and you try to build an ad group and you set the settings right to see what the targetable audience is in these ranges. If you're targeting just 35 and up, English speaking, which eliminates some people in the US, that audience size is over 30 million people that are targetable right now with your ad groups. So that's a large number. And we've seen that number continue to grow by millions over the last few months. And it's continued to grow every day. 5.5 million targetable users in the US, English speaking, men, women over the age of 55. So again, not massive, but that's still almost 6 million unique people, 6 million people 55 and up that are on TikTok, that are using the platform, that are targetable in your ads. This is where it starts to get interesting when it comes to buyer intent on the platform, when it comes to how likely TikTok users are to engage with your ad and make a purchase decision. So, and apologize, I'm going to be drinking probably lots of caffeine because it's, you know, wind down the day, got a 1-year-old at home, and this is a multi-hour presentation. So bear with me there as I take caffeine breaks. 47% of users on the platform have bought something they saw on TikTok. So almost 1 out of 2 TikTok users have made a purchase of something they saw on TikTok. Now, keep in mind that that survey they did, it includes both organic and paid. There's a massive community, and we're going to get to this later, of TikTok Made Me Buy It, other hashtags that have billions of views of users just sharing things they found on Amazon, sharing things they found on Etsy, sharing cool gadgets and things. And that drives a lot of organic discovery of products. That's also something we're going to talk about, like how we can kind of hijack that content and those angles to create really effective, really engaging, native feeling ads on the platform. 66% of users were inspired to shop even when not planning on shopping, right? That's really powerful. So what that stat's basically saying is that, you know, 2 out of 3 users, they grab their phone, they hop on TikTok, and they're hopping on TikTok just to go on TikTok and see what's up. And as they're scrolling through, they're then seeing something that compels them to make a purchase. That's a really powerful stat, especially when you're thinking about the holidays in Q4, because those numbers are not holiday. That's the people just not even thinking about shopping, not even having in the back of their mind, just going somewhere and then happening to see something so compelling they buy. We're talking Q4 now. In Q4, people, their mindset changes. They're actively looking to buy stuff. They're actively thinking about, oh, I need a gift for mom. I need a gift for my wife. I need a gift for my kid. I need a gift for grandma. I need a gift for the dogs, whatever it might be. So the buyer intent this time of year has dramatically increased. And this is why I'm really excited to have all of you here tonight, because listen, Facebook is a incredible platform. And the purpose of tonight's presentation and training isn't to convince any of you to stop advertising on Facebook or YouTube or any other channel. It is simply to say, hey, diversify a little bit, take a little bit of that budget and try on TikTok, right? Especially for Q4, because we all know what happens every Q4 on Facebook and on Google. CPMs go through the roof because ad inventory doesn't increase much, but demand increases massively. So the only way Facebook can offset that is by raising prices. With TikTok, we're still in this phase where they have massive user growth and a large user base. So the inventory is there, but the advertiser demand is not nearly what it is on Facebook, which means that you get the advantage of being able to target a large group of people without having to pay as much of a premium. Now, costs will go up, but not nearly as massively as you will on Facebook. Okay, this goes into some gift stuff. So 77% of users expect TikTok to inspire a gift idea this year. That's a massive stat, right? That's almost 8 out of 10 people logging on to TikTok this holiday expect to find a gift idea on TikTok. That is a great stat for brands that sell any type of product that is giftable, right? And then 28% of users say TikTok inspired more impulse purchases than any other app. So almost 1 out of 3, between 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4 users are making more impulse purchases on TikTok than they are on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Snap, on Twitter, any other app out there. So you have this really interesting convergence happening of this incredibly kind of addictive, engaging social app that has the highest time on app of any app out there. People are opening it the most times every day than any other app out there. So it's being engaged with the most. Plus, you have people now that are starting to use it to actually make buying decisions. So they're on there and they're shopping, they're thinking about shopping, they're thinking about buying. And so the more time they're on there, the more likely they are to see something to buy. So you have these two really great stats kind of converging, which is a huge win for any business out there. So this is interesting. So if you're on TikTok organically, you've probably seen this hashtag. It's always kind of pumped up to the top. The hashtag TikTok made me buy it. Started out organically a while back. TikTok then kind of took it over and promoted it and made it kind of the standard kind of default hashtag for any type of impulse buying happening on the app. So this is a massively successful hashtag. It has over 4.2 billion views. That's, when I say the views, it means the videos tagged with that hashtag. That's a cumulative views. That's massive. 4.2 billion views of TikToks essentially promoting products. Essentially, it's like mini QVCs, mini HSNs with 4.2 billion views. So we're going to talk a little bit about creative and creative research, creative inspiration, all that stuff. This hashtag is a great place to start because there's going to be so many viral videos on there selling products. So you can get an idea of like, well, what are those people doing in those videos? What makes them so effective? What captions are they using? What length are they using? What styles are they using? All that good stuff. All right. And again, listen, guys, I know I am going through a lot of this stuff quickly. I know I'm going through it fast, and I know I speak fast. Take notes. The replay is going to be there. So if you miss something, you can go back and watch the recording, and then make sure you're just dropping any questions that come up in the Q&A. So make sure either you're writing about a notebook or you're dropping them in the Q&A. That way you don't forget it when you get to the end, because you may have questions early on in the talk. And if you don't write them down now, you could forget about the end and you don't get them answered. Okay. So let's dive into getting started. All right. So you're brand new to TikTok. You're looking to get started. What do you do? So kind of ad account 101. Now at TikTok, you have essentially 2 types of accounts. You have the self-serve account, which is what most people are going to have, because the only way essentially to get a managed account is to have to know somebody essentially. So we have a kind of VIP support person who we work with. And so when we bring on new clients, new partners, we make an introduction to her, and then she helps onboard them to the managed program. That's where you get a line of credit. That's where you can have multiple ad accounts. And that's really kind of ideal for agencies or for brands that have multiple stores, multiple companies underneath kind of a holding company. If you're just a solo brand, right, you just have your one ad account business, the self-serve ad account is fine. You get 1 ad account per profile. You can link your credit card to it, so you don't get lines of credit or those payment terms. And I'll talk a little more about the payment terms in just a second. And again, it's great for single brands. And and I can show you, we'll walk through in a second, kind of the business center, the back end. If you're a business center user on a managed side, you're accessing TikTok through business.tiktok.com. If you're looking to sign up for the self-serve, you can go to ads.tiktok.com and go through the process of signing up, which looks very similar to what you see on the right side of my screen. You can either sign up with your TikTok profile, or you can just input your basic information and go through the process of getting onboarded that way. Now, one of the very cool things about the managed program and the way it's being done, and I believe it's being done this way because TikTok is so aggressively trying to pull ad spend from Facebook and Google that they're willing to do some pretty crazy stuff. So essentially what we have with TikTok through our managed account there is a line of credit around $1 million. That is paid on a net 30 basis with no personal guarantee. So let me just say that again. So it's a net 30 line of credit, no personal guarantee, which is huge, especially for small businesses that don't have a personal guarantee. And you can pay that invoice with a credit card. So let's say you use a Brex card. So like Hero Brands, which is our e-com portfolio, we use Brex. Brex doesn't have a personal guarantee either, and also has net 30. So essentially with those businesses, we have net 60, no personal guarantee payment terms when we're running TikTok ads. That is massive when it comes to scaling, when it comes to cash flow management. So that means we can run an ad today, make money and get paid today, and not pay for that ad spend for 60 days, essentially. And it actually is even a little longer because it's net 30 from the end of the billing cycle. So essentially it could almost be an additional full 30 days for ad spend in the beginning of the month. So it's potentially a net kind of 60 to 90, no personal guarantee. So definitely the managed account is really incredible. It's very, very powerful for agencies. It's very, very powerful for portfolio companies and lots of brands. It's very powerful for brands that are just looking to better manage their cash flow and have a better situation there. So those are kind of the big differences between those two accounts. So I just want to show you guys real quick too. We're going to hop in and out of ad accounts and stuff throughout the training tonight, but just so everyone has a feel for kind of what the business center looks like, what you're kind of doing in there, just so we're not staying on the slideshow for forever as well. So let's close that for just a second. Let's change the share. I'm going to click new share. We're going to go to Chrome. Boom, there we go. Try to change to my mouse. That would help. Okay. So when you're in the business center, you essentially have a very similar overview to to any to kind of Facebook's business center. So we have quite a few business centers, as you kind of see here. So this is just one of them we're in right now. And what you'll see is you have kind of a dashboard at the top. You have your list of ad accounts. You have your ability to add members. So your ability to add users, partners, ad accounts. From here, you can come in, you can assign different asset groups. You can add new members. So you can add anybody as an admin, an operator, an analyst. You can control audiences down here, asset groups, anything you want to share. We don't really do this right now. You can control your payment terms. So again, what you'll see here is monthly invoicing. So this is the benefit of having a managed account. This will show your account balance. That doesn't factor in. So basically you allocate balance to all the ad accounts. So each ad account has certain balances available. So this says, 70,000, 22,000. So this is allocated from this initial balance. So you basically take all this, you add it to this, that's your kind of total line of credit. And you come in here and you can increase the balance, you can decrease balance, all that stuff. This is where ad credits and vouchers will show up if there's any issues, which actually, unlike Facebook, they actually, when something happens, a mistake happens, they pay you a good amount. So we had an issue with Alpha Brain a few months ago where it spent several $1,000s in like 5 minutes. And they just credited us back within a week. So that is very, very effective there. You come into your settings, verification if you need to verify your business manager, your business center. You have your business center status here, all that good stuff. And then from here, you can access your individual ad accounts by either clicking down on them or going back into your ad accounts list, your drop down there. So that's the, just wanted to walk you real quick through what the business center kind of looks like, give you guys a little feel for that. And again, throughout tonight, we're going to be going back and forth through TikTok, through different apps and stuff. So let's talk for a little bit about the pixel. Okay. So this is where I know it gets a little technical. It gets a little, sometimes people are like, I don't want to talk about pixel or dev stuff or whatever. So if you're not a tech person, this is totally relevant to you. If you're just not the engineer or the dev person, you can send them this recording and they can watch it. But essentially there's two primary pixels on TikTok. So you have your standard pixel, which is kind of perfect for most businesses that don't have a lot of advanced stuff happening, that are pretty standard funnels, standard websites. Keep in mind, this is, if you're like a Shopify store, there's a direct Shopify integration. So this is, you don't have to really worry about this. So anybody on Shopify here, it's kind of one click, just like Facebook, installing the pixel. So you really don't have to do anything for that. This is really for people that have, ClickFunnels or custom websites or other funnel softwares that they use. So the standard pixel, you're going to be creating the events inside TikTok. So you're essentially installing the base code. And I can also, after this slide, I'll dive back in and kind of show you the difference between the two and just how you would set up events versus one versus the other. So you're setting up either by URL or by button click. So this is also like a great solution if you don't know how to set up, like, let's say you want to fire certain events on button clicks, right? And you don't understand CSS classes or how to fire things natively doing that. So you just want to be able to do it with one click. This allows you to do that. So essentially you can, with your mouse, hover over the button in the preview pane and click it, and TikTok will recognize what that code is essentially for that button and auto trigger. And I'll show you how to set that up in just a second. Dev mode is great for more advanced buyers. So dev mode is what we use for pretty much all of our accounts, with the exception of our Shopify clients. It allows us to pass back more data. It allows us to use advanced matching. We're setting up the events in a more custom framework because we can set it up kind of on site. It allows us to use a server to server integration, which is great for certain clients of ours, certain brands we work with, where they're using iframes or certain things. So dev mode is great for if you kind of fall into that category there. When it comes to installing events, it's pretty straightforward. So there's a base code. And again, after this slide, I'll show you guys the base code and where to find it. But there's a base script, just like Facebook, right? Like almost identical to a Facebook pixel. You're going to place that pixel in your header, in between your head tag of your entire website. So it needs to be on every page. And then you're going to place event script. So if you're using the dev mode, for example, this is what you would use. This is the script format for any event, right? So complete payments in here, but this could be submit form. This could be view content. This could be add to cart. This could be initiate checkout. It could be, any of the main events there. So you would just replace this keyword with the event you want to track. And you're just going to place your pixel ID right here. So essentially what this is going to do is it's going to initiate this specific pixel, and it's going to fire that event back to that ad account through that pixel. So this is the kind of standard event script that you're going to put on all your pages in the body tag, as long as you have the base code installed as well. So pretty straightforward, pretty easy, 3 lines of code essentially. And then if you want to pass back more information, like you can right here. So for purchases, for example, it's going to have the same top. So pixel ID, complete payment. And then just like Facebook, the same thing as Facebook, it opens up the brackets, and then you can include all these different variables here. So you can include the value. This is pretty much going to be like the only 2 things that most people here are going to need are these 2 things. So what is the value of the purchase and what's the currency? So this is then going to pass back conversion value to TikTok, which they can, it can help with optimizations. It can help with more accurate reporting, tracking ROAS, all that good stuff. The rest of this is more applicable if you're kind of using their dynamic product ads, similar to what Facebook has, and using kind of the product catalog and matching that stuff up. But again, if you are doing that, like chances are you're probably running a Shopify store, and Shopify does all of this for you. So this really isn't necessary for anybody here, pretty much. It's really this part here that you need to think about. So that's the two pieces of the pixel on the dev mode side that you need to understand. Let's dive into, I'm going to go back over. I'm going to dive into our one of our ad accounts that has a standard pixel. So let me open this real quick. I'm going to tab over here. I'm going to open up, we're testing both actually for ClickFunnels. So I'm going to open up the ClickFunnels ad account, and I'm going to go to their standard pixel. That way you guys can get a feel for how we set up events there and how that works. Let's go to assets, event. Okay, I got to share over, got to change the share. Okay, let's go back to Events Manager. Okay, so you should see over here, this is now we're in Assets Event. And then from here, you can go to Website Pixel. We're going to go to Manage. And so you'll see here, we have two pixels with them. So we have one that's a dev mode pixel. And then for some of their accounts, with some of their funnels, we're having issues with some attribution and tracking sort of events. So we created the standard pixel because it made it easier to kind of point and click and make sure we were tracking all of the higher funnel events that we wanted to track. So again, if you're creating the pixel for the first time, you're going to come in here, you're going to put the name in there. If you're using Shopify or GTM, you can install it through a third-party tool really easily. If you're manually installing it, you're going to go next. And then from here, you're going to be able to choose standard or dev mode. So those are really the two options. So we'll go back to standard. Delete that. And then between these two pixels, you can just swap them when you're at ad group level. We'll talk about how to set up ad groups in just a minute. So let's go to edit. Okay. So what you'll see here is this is how you're setting up events with the standard pixel. So you're essentially going to be able to load up a page. So you can put any funnel, any website that you want to set up the events on clicks in here on. So we're on .com secrets. Let's see, this is the full page. Looks like it might have changed a little bit. It's interesting. This is like a new page there. Let's see if we can go to, let's go to traffic secrets.com and see if it's the same page. But anyway, so yeah, this is a better page. So for view content, for example, we're going to come here and click add page browsing rule. And so you can do a page URL, you can do a host name, you can do a path. So you can just enter, traffic secrets or one funnel away or whatever the URL path is going to be to track view content. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Then for add to cart, this is tracking on button clicks. So if you want to change those and go back to URL, you can click change tracking method and it'll change that for you. So all you do is click add rule. And then I can scroll down and you'll see it's highlighting these elements. So let's say I want to track add to cart when somebody clicks this button here. So I see how it's highlighted, element 21. All I would do is click it and then it would pop up here as a new rule, event inline action, and it would pull the CSS, the class there. And then I can click save. And now anytime somebody clicks that button, it's going to fire add to cart. So that's how you set up the go to web page preview. That's how you set up on the standard pixel any event tracking. And again, you can do it for code registration, for view content, for add to cart. You can set up more the previous step that I didn't walk through because I didn't create a whole new pixel. That allows you to set all the events you want to track. So for this, we just have 4 events that we set up. And again, add to carts, we have the button clicks. So this allows us to kind of track every single button that we want to track as an add to cart event and make sure we're passing all that data back really effectively. So let's go back to Keynote. Boom, there we go. Let's hit play again. Okay, So let's talk about this because this is a big one. I know based on some of the questions I saw and a lot of people I've spoken to over the last few months, ad rejections and issues getting things approved has been a big challenge. And this is something that TikTok is working on. So we have a 4-person team that we work with at TikTok now. And one of those people, she's dedicated entirely to compliance and ad reviews, ad rejections. So we essentially have a custom Google sheet that we built together where we can submit ads and they then escalate them and get them approved. And then what they do, they're building out a whitelist program where if you have a history of, if you can kind of show, hey, for this business in this ad account, there's been a repeated history of the last month of false rejections, they can then submit that to kind of the internal compliance department, and then they can whitelist the account. So it's not a perfect process yet. They're trying to make it more and more automated and less manual. But it is still one of the challenging things with TikTok right now is that you will deal with probably more ad rejections than you've dealt with on Facebook. But there's a lot of things that I know people are doing that are leading to that they could not do to make things more effective, whether it's just understanding the industries that can run, the offers that can run, whether it's understanding like the things you can and cannot say, all that stuff. So here's a list of kind of prohibited and restricted industries. So let's make a distinction here. So right here, these are restricted. And what that means is that they aren't exclusively banned. They just either require a onboarding process to work with a person at TikTok to get you onboarded and verified and vetted, or additional documentation, additional support essentially to get that approved. So I know one of the questions that was asked pre-training was, hey, I'm running a supplement business and they want to prove anything. How are you guys running stuff for Onnit and Goalie? Well, that is why this is here, because nutrition supplements falls under the restricted industries, which means that they are much more selective with who they allow to run supplements and take kind of, it's more of a manual review process to get kind of whitelisted and approved to run in the industry. And we've provided things like there's kind of certificates from their formulation companies, from their manufacturing companies, from their manufacturing plants, from different organizations that kind of test formulations, test supplements. So we provided a lot of documentation to them that has allowed us to be able to run that industry. Okay. So same thing with fantasy sports, with gambling, with government nonprofits, those types of businesses, anything in here. It's possible to run it. It just requires more effort and more work to make it happen. Everything over here is restricted. I mean, it's prohibited. So that means that there's no exceptions for any of this stuff. So a lot of this is pretty common. People already know, right? Tobacco, weapons, drugs, skin whitening products, adult content, all that stuff. Cults, that was an interesting one. They sent a lot of documentation to us. So this is a pull directly from the compliance that they sent over. So I found this interesting. You can't sell wild flora. You can't sell brides or cults. So no marketing cults. I think that's an important one. This one down here, actually. So products targeting children. To clarify this, what this means specifically is ads that are targeting children as the customer. Distinction from ads that have kids in them promoting kids products to parents. So for example, we're running Posh Peanut now. They're a massively successful children's essentials and clothing brand. So when you're running ads for them, the targeting needs to be 18 plus, and there's very strict rules on the creative. So when you can include kids in the ads under 18, but there's a length of time they can be in the ad by themselves. So if it's a video with a family and it's got a baby and a 5-year-old in it, that can run for as long as you want it to run. If the mom or dad steps out of the frame, then does a shot just of the 5-year-old, on videos under 30 seconds in length, you can have a max of 5 seconds with a unattended minor, essentially. That time then doubles for 60 seconds. So from 30 to 60, it gives you more time under 30, which is most TikTok videos, you basically have 5 seconds of a under 18 subject in the ad by themselves. So it is a little, it's kind of a pain in the ass. I have asked multiple times. I don't get, why 5, why not 6, why not 7? Like, what is about 5 seconds? But anyway, that's the rule. So just to be clear there, so you can sell like toys and kids' clothes and stuff, but you need to follow those rules when you're marketing those products. These are 2 big ones for, especially for I know our demographic, our community, and I imagine people watching this. So currently, TikTok does not allow any type of free plus shipping offer. So any type of offer where the price essentially is free for a product, it is not allowed. They also currently do not allow any type of giveaway. So these are 2 pretty big funnel types that currently at this moment are not allowed on TikTok. And it seems like based on our support team there, our communication with our compliance person over there, they have no intention of changing this anytime soon. So you can kind of roll the dice. We've had stuff running for a while on some of these and they haven't rejected it. So it's, again, sometimes it's a crapshoot. But if you escalate it to our support person, like they instantly recognize, hey, free plus shipping book, you can't run it. So those are two big ones that I think everyone here needs to be aware of. Okay. So let's talk about some landing page requirements. I promise everyone listening to, like, we're just like we're a few slides away from all the juicy stuff. So I appreciate everyone bearing with me. But again, I don't think this stuff is very important, right? If you want to successfully run any ad channel, you need to have the foundation. You need to understand how it works. You need to understand what the rules and the compliance and all that stuff is, so you can actually run effectively on that channel. So here are the kind of key landing page requirements. And again, a lot of these slides are designed around questions too, because a lot of questions people had were like, hey, I keep getting stuff rejected because my landing page, it has issues with my landing page, right? So first point, it needs to be 100% functional, meaning there can't be anything on the website, the landing page, that's incomplete, that goes to a dead link, that's an unclickable button, anything like that. They also aren't fans of pages where essentially it's just an opt-in to get any type of content, right? So if you're running ads to a 2-step funnel and step 1 is like really, really bare bones, like headline opt-in, it's probably gonna be rejected because TikTok views that essentially as just a contact info grab, that you're not actually providing the value, you're just getting contact info in order to show content. So they're not fans of that and you probably get rejected. So number 2 is you need to have a contact option. So your landing page needs to have a clear, visible contact option. Can be a phone number, it can be an email address, can be both of those, can be social media channels. It needs to be super clear that there's a way on that page for somebody to contact somebody at your business. And then number 3, this is pretty standard. You need to have a complete privacy policy and a complete terms of service. And it needs to be linking to a functional page. You can't just have like text that says privacy policy, it goes nowhere. So those are the 3 kind of core requirements for any landing page, any destination you're driving traffic to. If you don't have one of these, you'll probably get rejected your ads each time. Okay, well, now we're going to get into the fun stuff. Now we're getting into the meat of it. So we're going to talk about creative. We're going to talk about launching. We're going to talk about retargeting and scaling and all kinds of fun stuff. So let's do this. I need to take a little energy drink break here real quick. That's good. By the way, I'm a huge White Monster fan. This brand, Rowdy, pretty freaking good. It's gives Monster a run for its money. There's a little unselfish plug for Rowdy energy drinks there. So 21 to 34 seconds. I'm going to give you guys a lot of facts, a lot of quick tips on best practices here on how to make the best creative. Keep in mind, everything I'm sharing with you tonight is either directly from our results, directly from high-level people at TikTok that share lots and lots. We have a 4 gigabyte folder with them that has every type of internal PDF, slideshow, PowerPoint, research study they've done. So we have a lot of really cool data from them that's super useful, or it's a combination of both. So everything here is like really, really valuable. And you're probably not going to get anywhere else because of our access level and our spend level there. So 21 to 34 seconds, over a quarter of all top performing ads on the entire platform fall within this time range, right? So that's kind of the sweet spot we found, 20 to 34, 35 seconds. Now, again, doesn't mean that, hey, a 10-second video or a 50-second video can't work. It just means that like, this is kind of the length of time that we shoot for when creating videos, because it's long enough to actually get a message across and actually sell something, but not too long that you lose their attention. They're scrolling on to the next video. 14 days, that's the average length of time we're refreshing our creatives. This is one of the biggest differentiators and biggest differences between TikTok and Facebook advertising. And I'm gonna make a lot of comparisons tonight between the two, because my assumption is that most of you are spending a majority of your ad budget on Facebook and have the longest history on Facebook. So it's trying to make it apples to apples for you guys. Facebook, you can run creative for a while there. I've had ads that I've run for 2 months. Now, again, that's unusual, but like I've had ads that just like autopilot, just like set it, forget it. The creative runs, especially for big audiences. With TikTok, creative fatigues really, really fast. And it's not even so much fatiguing. So fatiguing, when I mention that with TikTok, it has two meanings. So fatiguing in a traditional sense means that everyone in the audience has seen it. So it's lost its oomph, right? Because it's been redundant now. That's the typical fatigue you see with Facebook. With TikTok, that can happen. But what more likely happens is that the underlying trend, the underlying hashtag effects, sounds that you're using, which is a huge part of creatives we're going to talk about, is no longer hot. And so it lost impact. So if you hop on a trend day one, you can get a real great pop for the first week or so. But guess what? Trends die off really fast. So that trending dance you did, or that trending effect you used, or that trending transition you used, it doesn't work as well 2 weeks after it went viral, right? So 14 days is kind of that window of time that we're cycling through. Again, it doesn't mean every single creative. We've had ads that we've run for 30 days on TikTok and have continued to work. And then we've had ads that bombed for 7 days. So it's not a hard and fast rule, it's an average. This is a really big one. So this is a huge stat. So it's pretty much almost 100%. So 99.29% of top performing ads feature multiple scenes. So what does multiple scenes mean? There's gonna be plenty of examples in the few slides. We probably have like 7 slides of multiple ads that we're gonna walk through in just a minute. But before we dive into that, I'll just show you here. So a typical ad that you would see on YouTube or Facebook is going to be a kind of straight to the camera, not typical, but a lot of ads that we see in our space, in the info space, stuff like that, is going to be somebody, put out the phone, it's a single scene, it's them talking, it's a testimonial, it's UGC, it's a single shot. So it's a minute of this. Hey guys, Max here. I got this really cool product I want to show you about. I'm so excited about. Here it is. It's Rowdy energy drink. My favorite energy drink. I used to like Monster, yada, 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 right? With TikTok, you can have that same content, right? It can be that same substance, but you break it up. So when I'm making a TikTok, and I can actually, let me see if I can share, just to give you guys an example of like, let me see, I'm going to scroll on my phone and I'm going to go in InShot real quick, just to give you guys an idea. Here, so let's do this, because this is a cool feature I can actually share. Let me mirror my screen over to Zoom. We're going to do iPhone via AirPlay. Let's check this out. Okay, there we go. Cool. So everyone should see my my screen right now. I'm in my camera roll. So there you go. You get to see, it's going to be just ads and videos of Quinn. So there you go. But what you'll see here is, so like, this is a clips. So like, you'll see right here, there are like, this is a finished, and this, I'm in InShot right now. So what I would do, you see all these kind of individual elements here, right? So these individual clips, I could have easily said in the same video, like I'd have done a single shot. But with TikTok, you want to have lots of transitions and move really fast. And so what you're going to typically do is come in here, and this is, I'm kind of skipping ahead here. I got a little ahead of myself, but InShot's a great app that we use to make creative. So I would come in here and I would shoot these individual on my iPhone, or have our creator shoot on our iPhone. And then I'm going to grab, each one, right? And I'm going to click create, and it's going to stitch them all together, and I can do all kinds of transitions, and I can do all kinds of text things. And we're going to come back to this once we kind of get a little further ahead and we're talking about creating creative. So this isn't loading right now. So that's fun. We'll give it another try in just a second and see when we get a little further down there. But let's go back to, let me stop the share. I lost our keynote. I don't know where the keynote went. I'm going to stop sharing real quick. Let's go back here. Okay. And then let's open Keynote back up. There we go. Let's close this out. So anyway, actually, I can do this right now while we're on this. So you guys get a little more full screen action. We'll get rid of that white screen for a second. So the point of this multiple scene stuff, right, is if I could sit here and let's find I have, like, every product I advertise, I have kind of up here, I have a board of stuff. So let's do Alpha Brain. Okay. So I got a bottle of Alpha Brain here, right? So again, if I'm doing a kind of review of Alpha Brain, if I was doing it for Facebook or for other channels, it would probably be, I'd probably put a tripod up and I'd probably talk to the camera, and it would be, a minute plus testimonial, why I like it, boost my cognitive function, I'm more productive, all that stuff. But with TikTok, I'm going to break it up into little chunks. So I'm going to say something like, I'm going to turn my camera on. In 5 seconds, I'm going to show you my biggest productivity hack in the world. You won't believe it. Then I'm going to stop. And now I'm going to move over here. I'm change the background up a little bit. Maybe I put on a different hat, different outfit, right? And I'll be going, in fact, it's the one thing that Joe Rogan uses to get the edge on his podcast, right? I come back over here. It's called Alpha Brain. And this thing has been a game changer for my work, for my personal life for the last year. I work out harder, I work more, I get my tasks done better, I'm more efficient, and I'm more, I make more money, whatever, again, this is on the fly, just I'm bullshitting here, right? But the point of it is that I'm taking a long, kind of boring video, and I'm breaking that up into 5 second or so chunks that are fast, that can transition. I can throw text up on, and that way I can create a 6-second video that stays fun and energized, because on TikTok, people are scrolling through and it's fast paced, it's competitive, right? So people see a single shot for 40 seconds, they're not sticking around, right? So that's why it's like this stat is so powerful and we're going to go back into there, of 99% basically of top performing ads feature multiple scenes. So if you don't have a multiple scene video, the chance of your ad performing well, incredibly low, incredibly low. And then 70% of TikTok ad success lies in its creative. So here's some just basic things about creative. So basic best practices, or not best practices, kind of rules. 5 to 60 seconds. If you want to do in-feed placement, this is the length of time you're working with. So no shorter than 5 seconds, no longer than 60 seconds. So you got to get your message across very, very, very fast. Sound on, okay? So if you upload a GIF or something that has no sound, it won't be approved. So you need to either have a audio track of you speaking. You need to either have a text to speech, which is a feature I can talk about in just a second. You need to have some type of voiceover or background audio, background commercial use music. So inside Ads Manager, they have a whole library of sounds and music that you can use for free. That isn't kind of copyrighted or protected. Obviously, you can't use a Drake song on your ad. So they have music that you can use. That's licensed. That's good to go. And then 9:16. So everything is going to be vertical iPhone shot when it comes to the dimensions of your creative. Keep in mind though, 9:16 is the frame you're in, but within that frame, there's quite a few overlays. So about 20%, 15-20% of the bottom of the screen is going to be covered with your profile name, with the copy, with the sound. And then on the right side, you're going to have the profile icon. You're going to have the like, the comment, the share, 3 dots for more. And then on the top 5%, you're going to have the navigation, right? So just keep that in mind when you're adding captions and text and stuff and featuring things, that some of the video will be covered and be harder to see than other parts. Okay. let's talk about some rules here. Trust me, you want to cover this because I learned a lot of this stuff just by trial and error. Because early on, we didn't have a great rep and I didn't have all this documentation, all this stuff. And there's nothing more frustrating than spending a lot of time making a TikTok, uploading it, and then getting rejected because of something stupid that you didn't think about. So few that seem obvious, no cursing. That also includes the background audio, right? So this is actually very, very important and very common if you are working with UGC. So a lot of the brands we work with, they have a ton of content already on the TikTok app in their hashtags. So we're able to pull a lot of that content and use it. But a lot of that, they're users on TikTok. So they're using trending music, trending sounds. And so they might have a song that, one, you can't use, but two, if you could use, it has cursing in it. So if you try to upload it, TikTok's going to flag it, you're not going to run it. So you can go in there. It's actually pretty easy inside TikTok, inside the video editor, and we can dive into the video editor in just a bit. You can add sounds, and there's a whole library of sounds like horns, car beeps, things like that. So you can easily add a noise over the cursing, and then you're good to go when it comes to the sound. No TikTok watermark in the video. Okay, so if you're exporting, I'm sure most of you have seen this. Most reels on Instagram are TikTok videos. It was a brilliant marketing move by TikTok to make it so any video exported has that animated watermark that goes from the left to the bottom right of a video. You can't just re-upload that into TikTok for an ad. I'm going to show you in just a slide a site you can go to that'll extract the video without the watermark. So that's been huge for us when we're pulling UGC content. This is another big one this one caught me off guard. No content that would be considered dangerous or encourage that behavior. This is a pretty broad one. So this includes things like fire in a video. So we had a cosmetic brand we worked with that had this really awesome video of a girl snapping her fingers and like a flame turning into like the makeup. It was really cool. It was like a magic trick she did. And I was really excited about the creative because I thought like this is early on when we were running stuff. Like, this is going to really catch. And it got rejected because it said it was dangerous because it had fire in it. The same thing is true with a lot of the stuff we do for Onnit because they have extreme sport athletes. So we have one of their Onnit pros is, a few of them are biker, like BMXers, right? So we had them doing some crazy, it was like Nitro Circus, doing some crazy, like being pulled by a motorcycle, then launching and doing a, crazy quadruple flip. And that got rejected because it was considered dangerous. We've had things with MMA fighters, boxers, where a knockout video, that's gotten flagged because of dangerous. So some you can actually get approved if you just appeal. And so like the fighting one, we were able to get approved because we basically in the appeal said, hey, this is happening in a dojo. It's happening under controlled situations. This is a sport, right? Versus some reckless behavior. So they do look at it on a case-by-case basis. Some stuff will get approved, some stuff won't. But the long story short, if you are investing in doing some shoots, some crazy stuff for your ads, just keep that in mind. That don't invest a lot of time and energy into something that is dangerous, that has fire, that has violence, that has anything like that, because it may just get rejected for encouraging violent behavior on the app. No blurred out parts of the video or parts of the video that are hard to read or just like hard to kind of distinguish in the video. So for example, let's say you're repurposing a video from Facebook or YouTube, and that video has captions on it. And by bringing it 9:16, the captions now are like cut off. That may get rejected because part of the text on the screen isn't legible. So you want to watch out for that. And also just making sure you're not blurring any parts of the video. And Facebook also does that. They started implementing that on their ads. The display name needs to match with the landing page. This is a unique thing about TikTok ads, is that you're not linking, unless you use Spark ads, which is a slide we'll talk about in just a second. Unless you're using Spark ads, you're not actually linking your ad account with a organic profile page. So you're setting the profile icon and the profile name at the ad level for every single ad. So I know a lot of people early on were like, oh, cool. This means we can I can put anything in the profile name. Like I can put somebody, a famous person's name, or I can put some really great keyword or whatever it is, right? That's not the case unless that keyword or that name is clearly associated with the destination, right? So the display name needs to match up with the landing page, right? So meaning, like example, you can't have a profile name that's like make money, get rich quick, and then drive to a, some type of, biz op for company X. Like that's going to be hard to do, or something totally unrelated. So you really want to keep that display name. Ideally, just use the company name or the brand name, or whoever like the face of the brand's name is. Those are kind of safe bets. That's one of the things we've tested. So we run a few pretty large crypto offers. And so we started testing with that crypto offer, A/B testing the ads using the guy who's in the video, his name, versus just like the name of the program. And then the ads with his name have about doubled the performance in terms of ROAS and cut the CPA about in half by using the individual name over the brand name. So that's something to think about for your business. Is there a face of the business? Is there an influencer using in there? And, does it make sense? Are you able to use their name as the from versus the brand name? Again, it comes across more authentic, more natural, less salesy if it's not a business versus a person. And then the last one, this is a pretty obvious one, right, guys? Like no exaggerated claims, a billion sold, guaranteed to make you money, like certain things that just are too good to be true, you're going to get rejected. And if you don't get rejected out of the gate, you'll probably get rejected eventually, and that ad will get pulled. It'll either be fully rejected or partial delivering. Okay, I know we're going through a lot of stuff tonight. Trust me, we're covering a lot. So we have about probably 7 or 8 slides worth of creative right now. So I want to walk through. We're going to walk through the types of creative you can run. We're going to walk through 3 examples from 4 or 5 different clients of ours, 4 or 5 different brands. We're going to walk through upcoming ad units. So a lot of stuff. So for the next few slides, it's going to be all creative examples. So this is, I know you probably have had a notebook out the whole time, but if you kind of dozed off or got distracted because we were doing more of the technical stuff, more of the compliance stuff, whatever it is, this is a good time to tune back in and start taking notes, because we're going to go through a lot of creatives. And like I said before, creative is everything when it comes to TikTok. So getting good examples, understanding the formats, the flows, the frameworks, the things to look for, things to do, the styles, really, really important when it comes to getting on the platform. So let's do this. These kind of got out of order, so they might play in different orders. I'm going to try to turn the, I'm going to reshare real quick just to make sure the sound is working. Yeah, so share sound is working. I'm going to turn the volume down because when we did a run through the other day, one of the guys on the team, Zach, was saying the audio is coming through super, super loud. So I'm going to crank the volume down on these once I start playing them. So if it blares for a second, I apologize. Just keep that in mind. Okay. Hey guys, so let's pull this down. So here's the, and again, I know we're going out of order here, but these are kind of the 3 buckets of creative when we're thinking about creating ads for TikTok. So there's native creator content. This is kind of the far left bucket. And so native creator content is that's the gold standard. That's what you should be really shooting for. And that's going to be ads shot by high profile and experienced TikTok users for the brand, right? So that's the cream of the crop. Those are the people that they understand the trends. They understand the hashtags, the challenges. They understand how to use the camera and shoot in ways and speed things up, slow things down, edit things. They're pros. So those are the people that you want to have creating ads for you. It's going to perform the best, right? But again, not everyone has the budget, not everyone has the resource to do that. So that's going to be something where it's okay, not everyone is going to have access to this top tier. Second tier, which I'm going to show you right now, is kind of native looking brand content. And so what this means is, this is people inside your company, inside your brand that are, or even just your creative department, right? That are creating content for you, creating ads, but they're doing it natively. right? They're doing it through the TikTok app, or they're doing it through apps that have very similar interfaces to TikTok. So it can look and feel just like a TikTok should, right? So here's an example of like an ad that I shot. We actually, we ran a little bit of retargeting for some of you guys actually seen this for the masterclass. And it's more so just to have, I like testing stuff. So I was like, I want to try, an info product thing. I want to try shooting. I just like shooting ads because this gets me, you'll see a lot of examples of me on here. I think it's the best way to get really good at TikTok ads is to become a user of the app organically and personally, and also something that's creating lots of content yourself. That's how you understand things better. So this is a ad we shot for the masterclass. 6 months, me and my team have been managing TikTok ads for some of the biggest D2C brands, info product brands in the world. Brands like Onnit and Goalie and NeuroGum and ClickFunnels. So if you want to learn exactly what we're doing for these brands, how we're launching, optimizing, and scaling TikTok ads, I am holding a live training, a live masterclass, multi-hour masterclass with a Q&A, October 15th, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Click the link below, reserve your seat, and I'll see you there. So there you go. So first of the example there. So you'll see I could have shot that in one shot. That I didn't move that whole shot. I stayed sitting in the chair, right? But what I did is I took, I think, 6 individual shots and clipped them together. So I start with something that's going to hook somebody in. You got to hook somebody in right out of the gate. So anybody that's, relevant to our target audience, this is a pretty good hook, right? What I've learned running TikTok ads from the biggest brands in the world, right? So not a lot of people are running TikTok ads. Not a lot of people are talking about TikTok ads, and very few people are actually running them for large brands. So this is hooking them in right out of the gate. And then I'm keeping their attention with the snaps, right? So I'm saying brands like, and all I'm doing here, right, guys, like this is, I know this seems like it could be tricky sometimes to shoot stuff like this. It's really not once you practice. So literally all you're doing is you're setting up in an office somewhere, you're getting a tripod, you're fixing a position so you know it looks the same shot to shot, and you're just clicking record, you're holding the bottle, and then at the end of it, I'm snapping, and then I'm pressing pause, and then I'm putting that bottle down, and then I'm pressing record again with that bottle held in the same exact spot, and then I'm snapping, and then I'm doing it, and then I'm clipping it together in a way when I'm editing after by just clipping and editing parts out so it flows like I'm snapping in another bottle. So this framework works really well. And then at the end, having a call to action. Every video we run, you want to have a clear call to action at the end of it, telling them, click the link below to do X, okay? So that's native brand content. And then the final bucket is repurposed content, right? Let me see what the next video is gonna be actually before I do that. So it's gonna be this one.
All right, sweetie, you ready to get
I take it before every podcast. I even often.
Okay. So let's start with this one. This is kind of the native creator content. So this is like a big influencer with Posh Peanut. I'll play this one because we talked about this already.
All right, sweetie, you ready to get some new notebooks and protractors and slacks?
I want blue jeans.
You're getting slacks.
So super short, super sweet. This is a creative we probably run more top of the funnel because it's very native, very trendy in terms of the style it's shot. I mean, we'll talk about that interview type style when we talk about kind of styles of creative beyond kind of these bigger buckets. This is someone who she's got a large following. She's verified on the platform, and she's an influencer with Posh Peanut. So this is somebody who understands it, has a large following, puts out lots and lots of videos every single day. So this is going to feel, when somebody's scrolling through TikTok and they see this is going to fit most natively with what they experience on a daily basis, right? So the chance of them viewing through the entire thing and engaging with it is way higher than any other format. And so the final bucket is repurposed content, okay? This is what these two buckets here are probably what most people are going to fall into, especially early on trying the platform out and getting started with limited resources. This is probably even the bigger bucket most people are going to be in based on the questions I saw. So repurposing content. This means you're taking, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Snapchat ads, raw video. You're taking elements that you've had from other platforms and you're trying to kind of squeeze them into the 9:16 TikTok format and framework, okay? This is not going to perform as well as the other ones, right? Just out of the gate. That's just the reality. it's going to be the most obvious when somebody's scrolling through TikTok that like, this doesn't feel as natural. It doesn't feel like it flows like every other TikTok I'm seeing, right? And that's something to keep in mind when you're thinking about kind of the differences, Facebook, TikTok, apples to apples, right? Is the way content is consumed is very different. With Facebook, there's a feed, right? And within that feed, there's a lot of other stuff going on, right? There's copy, there's descriptions on a post, there's comments, engagements on a post. There's a lot more visible when you're scrolling through. You can see multiple posts at a time. With TikTok, when I'm scrolling through, it is 100% of my screen is that person's video. So it is jarring when it goes from native looking content to something that's clearly an ad and clearly shoved in there. So that's why it's like being native on TikTok is more important than any other channel because of how jarring that transition can be when I'm swiping through video to video to video. And you will be penalized for that, right? TikTok wants people on the app. So if you're creating an experience that causes them to leave the app, you're going to pay more. And that's why we'll talk about the algorithm, how the ad ranking system works towards the end. We talk about scaling, and creative is a big part of that. So here's an example of this is a video that worked well for us on Facebook for Alpha Brain that early on we used to repurpose for getting started with TikTok. But we made an addition to it that made it just a little more effective. So we'll play that real now.
I take it before every podcast. I even oftentimes take it on the air just to let people know, like, I really take this. Yeah. And everybody I know that I've given it to, everybody I know that I've, I trust their opinion and I've had them try it, they all have the same result. They say this does something. It gives me like some boost. So
there you go. So what we did with this is we took it, cool little hack here. I actually shared this hack a month back. If you go into Instagram and you go into stories, you can create captions. And actually, let me show, because I don't know if everyone's seen this hack. I'm going to show that. I think this hack is valuable enough that I want to show it to everybody here. So let's go back. Let me do a new share. Let's share back to my phone. Let's mirror this up. Okay, cool. We're back to the phone. So here I am in stories, right? So I'll try this out. So let me go. Hey guys, I'm live on a masterclass right now. I got about 100 people watching me do this story, and I'm showing them how to make TikTok videos, how to add captions to those videos. Check it out. Okay. So let's go here. I'm going to click captions. It's going to transcribe the audio in like a super bold font. I can also switch through. They have 4 different ways it looks. So I either choose this one or this one. I can make it bigger. I can make it smaller, right? I can click into it and I can edit it. So if any of the text is wrong, I can just change it up there. I click done, and then I can save. There you go. So now I just took a pretty boring video and I added some really engaging, bold captions onto it for free in like 5 seconds. So yeah, I think that's a pretty nifty little hack there. So there we go, little Instagram hack, how you can use Instagrams against itself for TikTok. So let's go back to pull up the slideshow again. Let's minimize this. It's kind of annoying whenever it's full screen, it doesn't let me share it again. So I got to minimize it and then go back and share it. It's a little inconvenience there. Okay. So those are the 3 buckets. So again, we have repurposed content, we have native brand content, we have native creator content. Again, gold standard, native creative content. But if you're just getting started, these 2 buckets work fine. These are kind of 3 examples. We talked about that Instagram hack of how to add captions to make your video pop a little more. Hey guys, over the last.
All right.
Okay, here's some top performing angles that we like to use. And again, these aren't all of them. There's a lot more, but these are a few that work really well. So number 1, unboxing videos. So these work really well. So usually it'll be multiple scenes. Scene 1 will open with a door opening and like your porch with a box on it, showing you grab the box, walk inside, then it will cut to the box on the table being opened, cut to you pulling things out of the box, cut to you talking about the product, cut to a call to action. Then we have product demos. So these are kind of pretty straightforward, just you demoing a product, especially something that's cool, that's very visually appealing. Demoing that in multiple clips works very, very well. The reverse story. So what you're doing here essentially is you're starting the video with the end, meaning with the outcome. So an example of this would be if you're selling a hair dye or a hair growth product, right? You would start the video with some crazy colored hair or with, really long hair, grown out hair. And it would say something like, I just dyed my hair this crazy color in 10 minutes with totally natural organic ingredients. I'm going to show you how. And then the rest of the video is actually the how, but it starts with this kind of big, bold, like outcome. That angle is really, really popular on TikTok, both organically and through paid. And then step-by-step guides. This also works really well. Like, here's 5 steps to do X. Here's 3 ways to do Y. Anything that's a clear number with a clear outcome, and then quick cutting through each step works really, really well there. Okay, here's some additional ideas on the creative side. Adding the hashtag TikTok maybe buy it caption. This is like super low hanging fruit that everyone pretty much on here can easily start using because this is what pops up on there's 4.2 billion views. People that are used to seeing posts from this hashtag featuring cool giftable stuff, right? So throwing that up on the caption, and to be clear, when I'm talking about captions with TikTok, I'm not talking about that little like box in the bottom of captions that you see on TV. I'm talking about kind of the bold boxes of text that are overlaid on the videos. Just to be clear, it's a different type of caption. Another idea is the 2-person dialogue. So this is like what I showed you in the very first video with the influencer, who was basically, the way you shoot it is you write out the script for you being 2 different people. So you're going to play both characters and you're going to write the script out. I'm going to say this, then other me is going to say this, then I'm going to say this, other me is going to say this. What you do is you film all of your lines first. So you'll open your phone, you'll shoot character A's lines, then you'll change your outfit, put on a new hat, put on a t-shirt, you'll come over here, change your angle, and now you'll say character 2's lines. And then you'll edit them together inside of TikTok or InShot or any of the apps that we're going to talk about. That's a very popular style of video. It'll feel very native. It's fun. And so that's a 2-person dialogue idea. Pointing at bullets. So you'll see a lot of videos, and there'll be some examples I'll show you in a minute, where it'll be a person sitting or standing, and it'll have text pop up saying 8 reasons I love Y. And then you'll see them pointing, and 1 will pop up, then 2 will pop up, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. And it'll be just either music playing or something, or text to speech. Snapping for transitions. That was the example I showed earlier with the different brands we work with. So it's X, and then I snap and something else appears. Then I snap and something else appears, right? So there's cool transitions there. A duet with an authority in the industry. So this is an example I'm going to show in a minute as well. So with TikTok, there's duets and stitches that you can do with videos. So a stitch, you're going to take somebody else's video and stitch it kind of to the front of your video. So it's going to open with them, and then it's going to transition to you talking about it. With a duet, it's going to be a side-by-side. So you can basically record yourself reacting to somebody else's video next to you in the same frame, in the same video. And so there's a cool example I'll show you for goalie. So you kind of visually see that. And then leveraging text-to-speech. This is very popular. So I'm sure if you've been on TikTok, you've heard the that kind of robot female voice. That's the text-to-speech. And essentially what you're doing there is when you create a caption on the video, you can tap on it and click text-to-speech, and it'll basically narrate that caption. So instead of you speaking in the video or doing a voiceover after the fact, you can just use the text-to-speech throughout the entire thing to narrate the video. Okay. This is really important with TikTok. So following the trends. This is why, before I talked about creative fatigue happening every 14 days, a lot of it happens because trends die, effects die, hashtags die in that period of time. So you need to stay up on that as quickly as possible. So when you're thinking about TikTok, you're thinking about trending sounds, you're thinking about trending effects, you're thinking about trending hashtags, you're thinking about trending transitions, right? Everything's trending. And so you're going to go into the app, and I recommend everyone here, even if you're not, listen, it was like pulling teeth for me to start using TikTok. I didn't get it. It was complicated. It was confusing. It took me a long time to start using it. But if you want to advertise, you need to be on the app as a user. You need to be checking it daily. You need to be looking at the homepage and scrolling through all of these trends. And you're going to find some that obviously not the big ones. So you look over like Squid Game. Squid Game is huge, right? Everyone's doing Squid Game. You missed the boat, right? 37.7 billion views. You're really not going to stand out doing that. But this effect popped off the other day, and it only had 231,000 videos, which is getting started. So early on, if something has a few hundred thousand views, a few hundred thousand videos, you can hop on early on in that trend and leverage it. So using this effect in your video, or again, sounds are a little different because there's commercial kind of liabilities there. But even just understanding the thought process, like, why is this sound trending? Like, if George Michael is trending right now, maybe I could play off a George Michael character in that, right? So you can still leverage knowing that. There's still value from knowing the sounds and what's working there. But again, the big ones are the trending hashtags, the trending effects, the trending transitions, and staying on top of those, and then being able to move quickly and have a quick workflow to pump out new creative using these effects and using these hashtags. So where do we do a lot of research? There's kind of a few big buckets, and we're going to dive into one of them in just a second. So the big one is following top influencers, right? So you want to make sure whoever is the big player in your industry, you're following them on Instagram, you're following them on TikTok, you're following them on social, especially TikTok, and you're studying what are their best videos, which videos are pinned, which videos have the most views, what are they doing in those videos? What is it about the video that makes it so viral? Is it the style of the video? Is it the content of the video? Is it the speed of the video? Is it the characters in the video? Whatever it might be, you want to take notes of all of these. You want to study these. So we have notebooks for different clients, and we're following all the top people, and I'm following them, and I'm digesting what are they putting out every single day, and what's hitting, and why is it hitting, and let's replicate that in our ads, or let's reach out to them and do a deal. You want to leverage. This is a great tip. So you can't really save. Yeah, I mean, you can save it, but it's more complex. It's not as easy to just save ads, right? So what I do is I screen record. So when I see an ad that I think is really good, I scroll down on my iPhone and hit the screen record and go back to it and record it. And then I store it in a folder on my phone for just TikTok ad inspiration. So that's a great tip. Search your industry in the creative marketplace to see the most viral videos. So there's the creative marketplace, and then there's the creative center. We're going to look at both of them. The creative marketplace is where you're going to go to work with creators, work with influencers, create kind of contracts for offers. But you can get great research there because you can see all the top people are. And then there's the ability to see all the top ads, all the top trends in the creative center. So let's dive into that right now, because that's a really great resource. And it was in several people's questions. It was where do you go to see competitive research? Where do you go to get ideas? All that good stuff. So let's hit new share. Let's go over to Creative Center. Boom. Okay. So everyone right now should be able to see this page. It says top ads, discover the best performing auction ads on TikTok. This is a amazing resource. It's relatively new. Again, you're going to go to this link up here. So if you want to, and let me go back because that was Spotlight. Let me erase that real quick so you can actually see it. There we go. So you're going to go to that this link up here if you want to come to this page. So in this page, what you can see is top ads. These are the best ads on the platform across the entire platform. You can filter by country. You can filter by industry. You can filter by campaign objective, and there's some other filters. So like, what's the source? Was it the Creative Toolkit? Was it Creative Exchange? Was it uploaded natively? What's the length, format, right? So you can do some other filters there, 30 days, 7 days, and then you can sort by reach, engagement, 6-second view through rate. So Dr. Squatch is crushing the game. So Dr. Squatch got on TikTok, and I don't know who their agency is or if they're doing it natively, but it's no surprise because they crush everything. But you see, hey, look, they got a tip. TikTok maybe buy it. They started using that in their videos. Maybe they were on here. I don't know. But let me play this up real quick. So you can click it. It'll give you all this additional information. So it'll tell you who the advertiser is, the length, the format, the industry, the objective. It automatically pulls in caption keywords. So Star Wars Limited Edition soap, source, shows you the number of likes, the number of shares, the most valuable frame. So this means like where people clicked. So obviously towards the end is where the most clicks are going to happen. But it is cool to show you that graph of like what peaks that engagement. And then we'll make other suggestions down here. So let's play this one. So it's not playing sound for me, but there you go. So you see, again, this is like an unboxing video we talked about earlier on. So TikTok made me buy it, quick cuts. It's showing it boxed, unboxed. Then it's going to show a quick demo of the product, showing what it looks like. So there you go. And again, 24 seconds. So it's kind of right in that sweet spot lengthwise for TikTok ads. So that's a great one. And there's some of the great brands on here. So there's think about getting, this is like an ad that uses one of the transitions that became really popular about like 2 months ago, was this kind of tunnel vision where you hold the phone up to your eye and it would automatically zoom into your eye and then kind of teleport into what your brain was thinking. So this is an example of Invisalign staying on trend and creating something really, really kind of on point. So it was like a great way to like say they're thinking about getting this and like what happened after they got it. So really good, just like story and flow. And then again, great call to action. So they're all following a similar framework. Here's a great interview style. So this, I talked to you about, this guy is a big influencer on the platform. He does a lot of finance stuff. So he got picked up by Acorn to do an ad for them. And so here's him doing that 2-person kind of dialogue. And again, I don't know why the audio is working. I apologize for that, but you'll see it's flip-flopping between him as the cashier at a bank and him as the customer at the bank. And using that to promote Acorns. So there you go. I won't go through the whole thing. I won't bore you guys with that. But again, we can go to the end where the clicks pick up, and there we have a call to action. So this is I mean, you can come in here and there's just so much. There's Coinbase ads, so you can really dive deep and get a lot of research done on what's working, what's trending, what's taking off, all that good stuff. So that's top ads. Then there's trend discovery. So trend discovery, this is great. This is showing basically the hottest organic TikToks on the platform. So again, if you just want to stay on point of like what's viral right now on the platform, here's the last 7 days, and then hashtags. So what are the most popular hashtags the last 7 days? And then I can dive into any one of these and see examples of them. And then lastly, there's showcase. So showcase is similar, where this is again just like a lot of ad examples that you can go through and dive deeper on. And they'll also feature in here if your ads get enough engagement, like, you know, perform well enough. So you can actually check a little box under your ad to be put into this this showcase if you want to. But yeah, there you have it. This is a great resource for research. And then there's the creator marketplace that we can also dive into. So essentially, we're going to go to the next slide anyway. In the next slide, was talking about how we make creative. So we'll start here, and then we'll go back into the slideshow. So inside the Creative Marketplace, you can come in here and you can search for any category. So let's say I want to, who are the best creators that do gadgets? So I can click search, and that's going to pull up basically all the most relevant, most engaging influencers on the platform. And then I can click into them. So like this person, so Courtney and Kaylee, they have 434,000 followers. They post a lot of different gadget videos. Then there's people top online finds. They have 2.4 million followers. Let's go into these people. So in here I can see this is again great creative research. So I can search by most popular. So here's their most popular videos, and like this is again great research. It's from a caption standpoint: 5 bathroom items you didn't know you need. Kitchen must-have from Amazon. 5 bathroom items you didn't know you needed. Car must-have from Amazon, part 4. You can replicate this kind of part 1, part 2, part 5, this like series thing, this episodic TikTok is really popular. The listicle, like I talked about before, is very popular. So again, I can come in here.
5 bathroom items you didn't know you needed, part 2.
There
First
you
up
go.
is this waterproof speaker that suctions to the
Just
wall
quick
of your
cuts.
shower so that you can listen to music while you're in the shower or bath. You can control the volume of the music,
It's a
go to the
waterproof
next
speaker.
or previous song, and you can also take a phone call and talk through the speaker. Next are these bottle holders that you can use
And
for
it's bottle
shampoo,
holders.
conditioner.
So if you want to work with this person, you can invite them. You can add them to a short list. You can invite them to you basically can create a campaign for your brand, right? So we typically we work with, this is just like a generic unicorn one, but when we do this, we work with the specific brand. They have their own account because you can have like a brand by brand account. So you would create a campaign and you essentially give that a name, put my brand information in there, my logo, website, what word description, sample images, all that stuff. Then the details, like what's the goal for the campaign, the start date. You can set a price out of the gate for what you're willing to pay per video. You can gift free product, or you can negotiate with the creator. So this, I typically, the best option is to negotiate, so you don't shoot yourself in the foot out of the gate, especially when you're doing this early on. Send a message. You can promote as a Spark ad, which we're a few slides away from, where you're running it from their page on behalf of them. They need to do some stuff on their end. Or you can just get them to submit a video to you and you run it from your brand. And you can send them all the guidelines, video script requirements, all that good stuff. So this allows you to kind of work with influencers directly inside the platform. So let's go back to Keynote. Let's open this up. Mouse, there we go. Okay. So here's the making creative. So we just talked about the creator marketplace. We then have the TikTok video editor, video templates. We'll jump into those in just a minute. Fiverr, Billo are easy resources if you're kind of on a budget, and you can put together very clear instructions. So we've used Fiverr actually for quite a few of our refi and EDU offers, and we've actually had good luck with it. It's not gonna be perfect, it's not gonna be the best, or it's Fiverr, but as long as you're super specific and you're saying, here's exactly what to say, here's exactly what to do in the camera, and you give that very, very clear, concise direction, it performs really well and it's very cost effective. And the cool thing is you can then add captions and transitions. You can make a lot of variations and versions of a single video. When we get to the testing part, we're going to talk about that. So Fiverr's fine, Billo's fine. Billo's like $59 a video. Then you have tools like Promo, Canva, Biteable, Vimeo launched a partnership with TikTok. They all have templates. So if you're really strapped in resource and have some images and want to make something, these are great resources for you to get stuff started. And then you have apps like InShot. InShot I showed you guys earlier. I love InShot. If I'm not doing it natively inside TikTok, using InShot. It's a great app. It makes it super easy to stitch together clips, to add transitions, to add captions. You can import fonts. So Proxima Nova semi-bold is about as close as it can get to TikTok's font. So you can import that font directly into it. So it almost looks identical to a TikTok video with some rare exceptions, and we can share that in just a few. So these are kind of the tools and resources that we're using to make creative. Something else you can do is go to your local college, right? So if you're in a college town, go to college, say we're looking for interns to work and be part of our creative team, and create a pool of kind of TikTokers that you can give instructions to and have them create content. They're probably going to know the platform better than you do, understand it better than you do, give you some good ideas, and you can pump out a lot of video that way. So that's something we're looking at doing more and more of, is expanding kind of this like intern influencer market. Okay. So how do you use TikToks? We talked about this earlier of like, if I'm inside my TikTok app and I see a influencer organically created the video for my client or my brand, and I want to use that, we have half of our clients are reaching out to them and getting written permission to use it. Half are just like letting us pull and beg for forgiveness later. Either way, once you have it done, you can go to their TikTok. In the bottom right of any TikTok, there's a 3-dot icon. You can click that. You can tap copy link. It's going to copy the link to that video. You can then visit this website, snaptik.app, paste the TikTok link in there, download, and it's going to give you the source video without the TikTok watermark. And then you're good to go. You can use that video now, re-upload it into Ads Manager and run it as a TikTok ad. Okay, let's talk about Spark ads. So Spark ads are really cool. Essentially, the difference is like with most TikTok ads, you're just every ad you're running isn't linked to anything. There's no like page. There's nothing linking the ads together. Each ad has its own unique comments, its own unique engagement. And if they click the profile icon, it just takes you to the page, takes you to the website. It doesn't take you to the TikTok profile. Spark ads are basically like Facebook's existing post ID. So you can create a TikTok, or your influencer network can create a TikTok, and they can give you permission to then use that. It essentially creates a code. So I'll actually do this real quick. I'll show you guys what it looks like, because it is an important feature, and it's something that's, I think, worth going through. So let me close this out. We'll hop into my TikTok app. Okay, and settings. So let's do this. We'll start with my phone. So go back to the phone. Let's go to mirror. Let's mirror down, zoom. Okay. So let's say I want to run, check it out. This video. I want to run this video.
This new TikTok ad unit is going to be a game changer for Q4 Black Friday Cyber Monday.
Ad.
Check it out.
So what I would do is either as the brand owner,
gift card ad.
I would do
Essentially, you can add an instant experience on top of your ads. You'll see it in the bottom left here.
Right.
So you can basically add any type of discount
On
kind
the
of
bottom
promo
right,
code.
scroll
Somebody
to
clicks
ad
the button there.
That's going to take them to
next
this
your
page
audience.
where they can agree to the terms, click add authorization. It'll then generate a code where I can give them 7, 30, or 60 days permission to use my video. I can always revoke the permission. Click authorize, and it's going to then give me a code that I can copy myself and paste into Spark Ads, or I can send this to the brand, to the client if I'm doing it on that side of it. So let me go to, I'm going to open a one of the pages on here and pull up some Spark ads there. So let me click stop share. Let's go over here. Let's go to assets, creative. Let me share my screen while we're doing that. Google Chrome. So I'd come over here to my assets. I would come to creative. I would go over to Spark ad posts. I'd click apply for authorization, and then I would paste that code that I just copied into here. I'd click search. So let's see if it's saved from my computer. I don't know if it did. Let's see. Let me go back into here real quick and see if I can just do this, even though it's not the relevant ad account. It doesn't really matter. Okay, doesn't want to work for me today. But anyway, so I would copy this code, paste it here. It would then pull up the video. I could check it, and now it's linked. And now I can select it at the at the ad level. So I'm going into the ad level. I then have the option. I can actually just dive into, I don't know what ad account this is. It's random ad account. We're just going to pull up. I'll dive into the, these are all ACOs, but let's just click create ad real quick. Just use an existing. I can't do that. They're all ACOs. Okay. We're going to go through this real quick. So I just want to show you the Spark ads, and then we're going to walk through all this stuff obviously as well. Lowest cost. So here I'd be able to then select Spark ads, and I'd be able to click post, and then it would show the post there for me to select. And so I'd be able to click it, and then I'd be able to run it as an ad here. Be good to go. Keep in mind, the text that's in the organic post is going to be the text you have to use. So you can't modify that text. So make sure whatever you write in there is your copy and you're good with it. All you're going to be able to modify is the CTA and the destination URL there. That's all you can be able to change. So let's go back to Keynote. Click share here. So some of the benefits, of the Spark ads versus standard ads is, you're able to run it from like an actual page instead of just some like not real page. So it stacks social proof and maximizes the engagement. It helps you grow the following because they click your icon, it goes to your profile instead of the website. So you can grow your following. It looks even more native and less like an ad. One of the downsides is that it gives the person a lot more things to click that don't go to your funnel or your website. So the click-through rate is usually higher on Spark ads, but the overall performance sometimes could be the same or even lower because people are going all different places. They're engaging with it more organically, more like a content piece than an ad. So keep that in mind. One final caveat here, one note. So this should roll out on iOS, but they had some issues, so they didn't roll it out yet. It's on Android. There's now the ability to basically do dark posts. So one of the issues with this whole feature has been like, yeah, you can post on your profile and run it as an ad, but you can't hide it. Once you make it an ad, it's publicly seen. You can't like make it only seen by me. So that means like on your profile, like you might post like 6 different ads in a row, which looks pretty crappy organically and as a user of the platform. So they're rolling out a feature. It's on Android already. It's coming out on iOS, where it allows you to basically just upload something as an ad for Spark ads, and it doesn't get actually shared in the feed, and it's not visible on the profile. So that'll be a new feature rolling out very, very soon. There was supposed to roll out last week, but there was a delay on it. Okay, so let's dive through. We have, I think, 4 or 5 slides of just more creative examples I'm going to show you guys. We're not going to go through every single one. Again, I'm going to show the slideshow with everyone. I'm going to share the slide deck with everyone so you guys can go through each one. But just to give you more of a deeper understanding of like what's working, what creative styles work on all fronts. And then we're going to dive into launching the campaign.
Hey, babe.
Okay. Let me see. Why is the sound should be sharing?
To put her to bed.
That's interesting.
You started.
Well,
let me see real quick. Could be my phone because the AirPods are coming through my phone. Oh well. So we don't have any sound, but that's all right.
I mean,
I can narrate. So this is a really popular style of video.
Whoa.
So you'll see there what they essentially did is threw the outfit on them.
I got you new pajamas.
And then instantly kind of teleported to them wearing the outfit. So this style of video, really, really popular, works really well with ads. Very easy to shoot. Again, just takes a little time. So all they did here was they shot this exact scene twice. So they shot it once wearing normal clothes. And then when they got to this part where they threw the clothes on them, they got out of the chair, they changed their outfit, sat back in the chair in the exact same spot, kept the camera in the same location and started filming, and then edited it together.
Awesome.
Okay, now it's time for bed.
So that works really well. It's a great style. Then we have this style video. This works really well.
9.
You can have family members.
While that was that
model wall. This is using
8. Giving very much butterfly chic.
The sound isn't working, but they're using the text to speech narration there. Let me go back. That's computer.
Max, we can hear your audio from
Unless
the
it picked
slides.
up
You may
Zoom
not
for
be
some
able to
reason.
hear it there.
Okay. Doesn't want to work. Oh, well, it's no big deal. Actually, you guys may be hearing. I don't even know if you're hearing it on your end. Let me pull up the chat real quick just to see, because I think we're supposed to close it. Okay. So cool. You can still see the audio on your end. Awesome. So it must be just on me that I can't see it. So you can hear the text to speech on this end. They're talking through. They're all doing their kind of model walks.
7
It's fun,
literally
it's cute,
can't but
it's
try his
engaging, all that
best.
good stuff. And then we already walked through this one, which is kind of the 2-part interview style.
All right, sweetie.
So then we have some on it creative, walk through this. So these are 3 examples that you're getting a whole lot of me in this one because we're unfortunately on it, like been struggling to get their on it pros and stuff to shoot native looking TikTok stuff. So this stuff's been working the best actually. And frankly, I use the products. I've been having fun with it.
How am I going to get
So
all
here's
these
a,
tasks done today? I have
example.
no idea.
You'll see I have lots of quick cuts.
Oh wait, my
This
alpha
is
brain
the text to
just got
speech.
delivered.
The zoom in and out feature is really
It's
popular.
a nootropic that helps support memory,
Lots of captions. I
mental
think captions
speed,
do a lot
and
of the
focus.
selling. Demo using the
It
product.
helps me get in the zone and crush my daily to-do list.
And then I did this at like 3 or 4x speed. I sped up this clip of crushing
So
my
I
task
can
list.
spend more time with my wife and son. How
So
am
that
I
video.
staying focused
So
and
when
being
we focus,
productive
it's like
can feel
multitasking, so a
impossible
bunch
these
of, like,
days?
tabs open, a bunch of stuff open on my computer.
Is
How
there
am I getting
anything
done
that can
today?
help? Well, I found a
Found a
solution.
Zoom in, zoom
It's
out.
called Alpha Brain.
product.
It's a nootropic that
Use the
helps
product,
support
show it.
memory, mental speed, and
Hit on some of
focus.
the key benefits with the captions.
I take it
And then I
daily
can
to
exit
help
out of
enter
things
a
that I
flow
2 or 3x
state.
sped this part of it.
Click
closing all
the link
tabs.
below to try it for
Call to
yourself.
action, what to try it for yourself. And then I wrote on here, laser focus, ready to be productive. Here's a really short one. So here's I'll show you one of my keys to success. It's a little more, this one, I pushed it, a little exaggerated here. But I do love the product, so it works for me. So again, this is kind of just anticipation. You don't know what's going to happen. It's, cars are really popular on TikTok, so I leverage that. Hopping in, wait for it. There we go. Alpha Brain, level up my productivity and focus. Daily for years. So those are 3 on it videos that worked really well. Goalie, we'll go through some of these real quick. So this is these are 2 pointing styles videos. This video is one of our best performers. So again, really quick, this guy is just pointing. So each one of those. So really quick and to the point. And then we replicated on our end. So 8 reasons why I love Goalie Ashford gummies. Just again, fast paced, hitting on the key bullets, following kind of a trendy type thing that was happening on the platform. There you go. And then here's a duet. So this is a video.
I've been asked about 7
earlier. So in this
times to
video,
talk about ashwagandha. So let's have a look at the evidence. And if
and I also realized you guys can hear the sound. I can't hear it. So I'm probably talking over it. It's probably hard to hear. So before I even start it, so this guy is basically found this video. And this is an influencer for the brand. And this is a doctor talking about the benefits of ashwagandha. This guy has nothing to do with Goalie. This is just a doctor talking about ashwagandha. So he's duet the video. So he's next to it and he's reacting to this guy talking. So this is a great style of video where you can use like an authority, a thought leader, somebody talking about the subject matter, and then tie it into the product and the offer.
evidence-based health advice, hit that follow. Ashwagandha, also called Indian ginseng, has been used for thousands of years for its apparent stress-relieving benefits, with several studies showing it can reduce your stress and anxiety. Like in this study of 64 chronically stressed people, found
I
that...
don't watch the whole thing, but you guys get the point. So that's an example of the duet, which is a really popular style. Then we have some ClickFunnels creatives. So again, I'm also trying to give you guys a little bit of an examples of our top creative for very different types of brands and industries and price points. So with ClickFunnels, we're actually, we had them film a ton of stuff. We got them some scripts. So right now we're in their first month. And so we had to repurpose a lot of stuff. So it wasn't the best. So that's why I had to shoot some stuff, and we're getting Russell shooting some stuff. But some of these videos we had to repurpose. So you'll see 2 of these examples over here are repurposed, but we did our best to make them feel native. And then one is kind of following a more common TikTok format. Here's 4 simple questions that all successful online business owners know the answer to. Number 1, who are your dream clients? Number 2, where can you find those clients? Good friend, you need to check out .com secrets from my good friend. More money. So this is a great style like for informational products. Is I basically took a chapter, a section from .com secrets, and I turned it into kind of informational video. So here's 4 simple questions business owners need to know the answer to. And then at the end of it, I position well, if you want more stuff like this, more information like this, more knowledge like this, .com secrets is the book to have, right?
.com Secrets, this book is all about how to grow your company with sales funnels. If you don't have a copy yet, it's time to go get it. If you have the old version, the very first publishing.
So there's a video of Russell. We did something similar to what we did with Joe Rogan, where we took a video of him, put it in 9:16, threw the captions on it. So not the best, but we made it a lot more effective by just adding those Instagram level captions. And then the final video, it was a Grant and Russell video that we repurposed.
What I want to know though, can anybody do a funnel?
Oh yeah. That's what seems like prior to ClickFunnels, nobody could. It was super hard, but okay, so anybody can. Yeah.
So that one's super short and sweet, but we kept it, we used captions very similar. We used a TikTok font. We opened it up with a curiosity loop. Hey, Grant Cardone has an important question for Russell, right? Well, what's the question? I didn't know the answer to the question, right? He's driving his Rolls Royce. It's a private jet. So we're really catering to that audience and we're keeping people hooked. And then the question is, hey, can anyone make a funnel? Because they made a funnel on his private jet. And then Russell ends it, well, yeah, thanks to ClickFunnels. And we kind of kept it short and sweet to the point. Here's some finance creative. So again, if you're in the trading space, the finance space, we're doing a lot of stuff in crypto. So here's some quick examples here. So a small $100 investment in Bitcoin back in the early days of Bitcoin would be worth about $47,000. So a $100 investment in Ethereum made back in the early days of Ethereum would be worth about $119,000 today. A $100 investment in Cardano. Heard about this amazing online crypto event. The biggest crypto event of the year is happening online November 9th. This is a free event. They're bringing together 47 of the top crypto experts in the world, and they're going to be sharing these experts, the top experts in the world on crypto, the next coins that could pop 1,000, 10,000, 100,000%. So yeah, that's another video where like.
And by attending the online crypto. Sorry
about that. If I don't click the right part, it just skips the screen. So again, using captions, using things that are going to grab people's attention. Hey, $100 of Bitcoin. If you invested in it, this is what it'd be worth today. $100 worth of Ethereum, right? So it grabs attention, it hooks people in, opens a curiosity loop, keeps it fast paced. And then again, for this brand, we're working with their creators to make more native stuff, but we didn't have a lot of stuff. And I don't want to be on camera. I don't want our team to be on camera for a bunch of stuff. So this is other kind of creative ideas of how we looped in some additional content and blended it to make some engaging creative that's actually performed very well. So these 2 videos use basically just like Coinbase wallet and a Coinbase wallet with a more typical YouTube video. So see this one just scrolling through 47 crypto experts about to reveal their top buys. You can see in this, I went on when it was a really good crypto day. Everyone's pumping, everything's double-digit green, looks really good. It's exciting. It's dynamic. It's scrolling, so people stay hooked on it. And then this one is the same thing, but we overlaid a clip from a VSL. It's very engaging from the guy who created the program.
And by attending the online crypto summit, you'll be discovering the best investments of the year from over 37 of the world's top crypto experts. So, guys, make sure to write those dates down on your calendar. Put them in your.
Okay. So those are some examples of creative. Hope you guys get kind of some notes from that and give me some examples for what you're going to make on your end. Here's 3 really cool ad units that we just got added to our accounts actually, and we're excited to test for Q4. This is the cool thing about TikTok is they're rolling out some really innovative ad units that I think are actually valuable. Unlike Facebook, that like a lot of the new stuff that ad unit wise is like not that cool, not that really relevant or valuable. So the first are gift card ads. I'm just going to play through each one of these. So we'll go display card ads first. So you'll see in this one, basically a custom image pops up in the bottom left that then is a giant call to action button. So this is a really cool ad where you can basically use all this extra real estate to make a kind of secondary marketing pitch and also make your call to action way bigger, way bolder. So really excited about the display card feature. Then gift cards is a really exciting one. So essentially you can add a promo code, a unique gift card code to your ad. Somebody can click that, they can grab the code, open up the app or the website, whatever it is, and then use the code. This is going to be really, really killer for Q4, for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, to be able to get that kind of discount prompt there. It's great for retargeting. And then over here, this is actually supposed to be not repurposed content. This is probably doing things live last minute, right? It's like, of course, you're going to miss something. So this is a gesture ad. So essentially on this ad, you're going to have something pop up here, kind of a pop-up that's going to animate and say, click to buy the product. That then is going to take you to an instant experience that you can open up where you can get more information. Okay, so that's our breakdown of creative. So let's dive into kind of our launching framework. So what we're doing to launch a new account. So first thing first is the campaign, right? So there's campaigns, there's ad groups, there's ads. Those are the three layers, very, very similar to Facebook. So you have 7 campaign objectives: reach, traffic, app installs, video views, lead generation, conversions, catalog sales. So we're starting every new ad account, single campaign, ABO campaign. We're not using CBO, so the budget set at the ad set level. We're optimizing for conversions, and this is the shell for all of our future prospecting ad groups. So we're not creating new campaigns all the time. We're duping out and building new ad groups under this campaign as we're continuing to expand. So the ad groups. So when we're launching a new campaign in a new ad account, we're doing 2 to 3 ad groups max. This is very different than Facebook. Facebook, typically we're launching new campaigns with 6 to 8 different audiences, different ad sets in there, because we're testing a lot of audiences, 5 million, 10 million person audience. TikTok, very different, 2 to 3 ad groups max. Typically it's going to be one is going to be broad, kind of wide open. One's going to be a combination of interests, so stacked interests. And the other is going to be lookalikes if we have existing customer lists and existing data to work with. If you don't, and it's brand new, out of the gate, broad stacked. So 2 ad groups that you're working with. The daily budget formula. So how are we setting our daily budgets for these ad groups? This is the formula. So 50 times your average CPA divided by 7. That then gives you what your starting budget per day should be. This is all about getting you out of the learning phase. So if you don't hit 50 conversion events in that 7-day window, it's not a hard fast rule, it can be 10 or more, but if you don't hit it in that window, you cannot really stabilize and optimize. It becomes very hard to then scale. So you want to make sure you set budgets to get you out of that learning phase. If you can't hit that, so if that budget doing that formula is too high for you for purchases, optimizing for higher funnel events is something that we recommend doing. I was never a fan of doing that for Facebook. I always thought it was a terrible idea. We've actually had it work well for a lot of accounts on TikTok, especially like add to carts or leads. We've seen very strong purchase numbers there, plus stabilization because we get a lot more add to carts, a lot more leads for a lot less money on a daily basis. Another difference between TikTok and Facebook, ideal size. So you should be targeting kind of that balance range. There's a little meter when you're making your audience that shows whether it's too broad, too narrow, or balanced. So you're usually going to be in like the 20 to 50 million person range. That's kind of the ideal size for your ad group. And all of our ad groups are going to be lowest cost bid, especially starting out. We're not using any cost caps or any manual bidding there. We're launching everything at midnight the next day. We're not launching anything midday, right? We're not using targeting expansion. We're not using any of that. We're not filtering down any of their stuff, so that you don't have to worry about. And then on the ad front, so on the ads, we're starting with 4 to 8 creatives. We're focusing first on video. So videos are everything. We're not really worried about, the, text and other elements yet. However, if you have a lot of creative to test, leveraging ACO, which is basically TikTok's version of dynamic creative. So it's automatic creative where you can upload up to 10 videos, up to 5 pieces of text and multiple call to actions. And it'll dynamically put all those together. That's something we do for brands that have a lot of creative. So Posh Peanut, we just launched for them. We're using ACO out of the gate because they have so many videos to test. And then you're going to set the page name and details for each ad. And remember those page names, display name here. it needs to match the site essentially. So you can't have the, this name down here be something totally random. So this name needs to be on brand. So there's also alternative objectives, right? So when we're launching, if it's a brand new account and you don't have massive spend and there's no history, to build up your custom audiences and to build up more account history and just more data, doing some lower budget alternative objective campaigns is a pretty good idea. So we'll launch like a reach or a traffic campaign. Usually actually a reach campaign, because that gets just like a lot of eyeballs really, really effectively for some of our top of funnel videos. And this helps us build up our video view audiences, helps us build up our initial ad click audiences, our initial traffic audiences that we can then retarget, we can build lookalike audiences on, and just builds up a more aware pool of prospects. Plus it also builds up that ad account history, which is a very important piece of your ranking in the ads in the kind of algorithm. So setting up some reach campaigns, a traffic campaign, in addition to your initial conversion campaign is a pretty good idea. Again, low budget, 20, 50 bucks a day. Okay, so post-launch, what are we doing? So once we've launched that initial campaign, we're not touching it, we're not manipulating it, we're not modifying it, we're not trying to get in there and turn things on and off, right? It's not like Facebook, right? So and this is something that's gonna be challenging for some media buyers on TikTok, is being less hands-on than they're used to being, right? With TikTok, the creative is such a big part of it that most of your work is gonna be done on the front end with the creative and making it. Once you launch things, what happens for that kind of first week learning phase is relatively hands-off. You're really setting it and kind of forgetting it and letting it run. Obviously, you're going to monitor it and make sure it's not blowing money or just terribly performing, but you're not going to make tweaks. You're not going to be killing things off right away. You're not going to be trying to jack the budget up right away or anything like that, because that's going to reset everything and screw you up. You're going to monitor the performance daily. You can do that through your kind of view data tab inside ad groups. And I can dive into that in just a second. We actually have a whole reporting section, so we'll dive into that once we get there. You're going to identify kind of what those top performing creatives are, ages, genders, interests, all the data points, all the variables, and start taking notes of those. So once you get out of the learning phase and you're looking to start scaling, you know what the best segments to scale into are. Okay, so let's talk about some audiences. So when you're talking about audiences on TikTok, you have, when it comes to custom audiences, you have customer files. So customer files for most people right now are based on IDFAs, so device IDs. It is not widely available to do email or phone numbers. However, it is being beta tested. We're beta testing it now in all of our ad accounts. So it should be coming out soon to everyone. So soon you'll be able to upload email lists and phone number lists of customers, which means you can launch lookalikes right out of the gate. So I'm really excited about that for everybody. You then have engagement custom audiences. So engagement custom audiences are people who, 100% views, ad clicks, that type of engagement in platform. You have app activity. You have website traffic. So this is going to be all your core website events. So page views, view content, purchases, add to carts, lead generation. So if you're using the lead forms on TikTok, so TikTok, just like Facebook has native lead forms, you're going to be able to pull data of who opened the form, who opted into the form, all that stuff. And then premium audiences. So this is not going to be available to everybody. This is a feature that we're testing right now, but it's really cool. Basically, it's like Facebook's engaged shoppers, except much more targeted. So it's categories like supplements, and it's made up of people that have clicked on ads from other supplement brands in the last 30 days or so. So it's a really valuable audience that you can target. It's dynamic, it's updating all the time. So much more valuable of an audience. Okay, then you have lookalikes. So inside your lookalikes, you need to have 1,000 people inside the custom audiences, be able to build a lookalike on top of it. So until you have that 1,000, you can't do much with it. Meaning you both can't build lookalikes and you also can't use it for retargeting. So you can't exclude or anything with it, which is also a little frustrating right now. 3 different size options. So it's not, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% lookalikes. You basically have narrow, you have balance, you have broad. So down here in the audience size, you select the placement, location. This is pretty cool. So you can omit the source, sort of dynamically update this audience of page views and exclude all those people from the lookalike that's using the page views as a source. So that's pretty good for keeping kind of your audience penetration as high as possible. And then we have our different targeting options. So interest, behaviors, creator interests. Those are the three big buckets when it comes to who you can target. Interests used to be way smaller. A few weeks ago, they rolled out a big update. So now you can type in just about anything and get a massive list of different interests. So you can type in trading and it'll pop up stock trading, crypto trading, trading app, all kinds of things. Not all of them are going to be large audiences. Some might only be a few thousand people, but there's a lot that are, 1 million, 5, 10 million person interest audiences. So interests have been dramatically expanded. Then you have behaviors. So this is based on how people engage with content in app. So either watching videos, liking videos, commenting on videos, sharing videos. You can select the categories of videos and then the time frame. So the last 7 days or the last 15 days. Then you have creator interactions. So this is people either following or viewing the profile of somebody who's tagged in a certain category. Okay, let's talk about some testing. So what happens after we launch? What are some things that we're looking at testing? So the first is different captions. So when you're looking at like videos, right? I'm testing new videos. That's kind of the instinct. It's like, okay, I'm just going to test a lot of creative and keep testing more and more creative. But if you have a video that's doing really, really well, there's some elements you can change on it to make it performing better. So one of the things we've done is like taking a video that crushes and trying 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different caption variations. So what it opens with, because to me, this is almost like a headline. This is like a really big headline. So it's really important in the ad. So for example, this video did really, really well for us. Then we can try different caption options. So instead of things you didn't know you needed on Amazon, you can try, hey, TikTok made me buy it. I just found the perfect gift for my husband. Stocking stuffer gift idea number 23. Right, so those different caption ideas that you can try for your testing.
This one's pretty.
Then we have different events. So I kind of talked about this earlier, where if you can't get out of the learning phase, you want to try to go up funnel with the optimization events. You can also just try testing it all, like in addition. So if you start with a purchase campaign, a complete payment campaign, which is what they call purchases, try duping it and testing add to cart, testing submit form, which is leads, and seeing what the performance looks like for those different events. A lot of times those events will get much lower CPMs and much higher click-through rates, and convert very well. So that's something we also test. We'll do a dupe and we'll test a one step up higher funnel event. Remember, especially because you're not doing massive interest testing or audience testing. So you're looking at testing different things. And then ACO versus non-ACO. This is something we also A/B test. So we'll dupe a broad ad group or the stacked interest ad group. We'll have one that'll go just unique ads, 8 different ads, and one that'll use ACO. And we'll see which one performs better. It goes in and out depending on the type of creative, the type of copy we're using. One of the things that is cool about ACO is that it has this new dynamic CTA feature, call to action feature, which allows it gives you a list of relevant options for like buy now. So instead of saying just shop now, it's like buy it now, check it out, grab yours, order yours today. So we have like a bunch of those, and it'll dynamically cycle in those different call to actions for different users based on which one it thinks they'll respond best to. So that's a really cool ACO feature. Okay, let's hit on reporting. So how we track all our important KPIs for all ad accounts. So the first thing is you want to customize your report view. So almost identical to Facebook, you can easily create custom report views and save for future use. I'm actually going to dive in and let me show you Let me show you what that looks like. Let's open up one of the tabs over here. So let's pull up this random ad account. It just happens to be the first ad account that's open in my tab. So we'll just use this one just to keep it consistent for the night. So let's go over here, Chrome. So you're going to want to click on custom columns, default columns. I'm sorry, go to custom columns. And then I think 2 hours and 60 minutes in. So my brain's slowing down a little bit, and I think my jaws are tightened up from speaking for 2 hours and 20 minutes straight. It's a muscle I've not been working for a while. So in here, you come to page events. This is where you can set things like, okay, you want to track complete payments, the total number of them, cost per rate, value per event, so AOV, total value. I want to track my ROAS. I want to track my leads. So I'm going to go to submit forms. I want to track my, add to carts. So you can come in here and track all these things. You can organize your different columns, and then you can click save as a preset column and type in, ROI report or whatever it might be, and confirm. And then you'll have all those rows will pop out. You'll have a go-to report that you can use now going forward. What you also want to do is come in here in different ad groups, and you can come in, you can click view data. And inside here, you can view kind of daily data, what the numbers look like, detailed analysis day by day. You can come into the audience tab. You can view breakdowns by age, gender, location, interest, and behavior. You can change this to be, what the CPA metric is. Get a detailed analysis down here of click-through rates, CPAs, conversion rates, number of conversions, all that good stuff. So this is also another great little resource for you to check out on an ad group level. Let's switch back to Keynote. Let me erase that. Mouse. Okay. And then if you're looking for a more robust software, there's only a few softwares out there that actually integrate with TikTok. So we started using Whatagraph about 2 months ago. Very, very happy with it. It has a direct integration with TikTok on the ad side. So you can pull in all that data. You can build out really beautiful looking dashboards, custom dashboards. They look really great for an agency. The other cool thing is it creates a live link. So you can create a link that you can share with your client or with members of your team, and they can go to it and modify the report, change the dates and time periods in real time, get data. So they can view campaign breakdowns, ad group breakdowns, spend, purchases, funnel flow, all that stuff. So Whatagraph is a really cool piece of software that we're using for all of our reporting. So let's talk about some scaling tips here. And I appreciate everyone bearing with us. We're getting towards the end here, and we're going to dive into the Q&A. So we got a few more slides here. So I'm going to appreciate, I know this was a challenging format to do everything live in one sitting. Definitely sounded like a better idea when I was thinking about it than now 2 hours and 30 minutes in with no break. So I'm having a lot of fun. This is great. I hope you guys are having a good time too. So let's talk about scaling. So in order to understand how to scale, you need to understand how the algorithm works. So the TikTok ad algorithm is based on 4 core factors. There's additional signals, but these are the 4 primary ones that make up majority of whether you rank high or rank low, what your effective CPM is, what your effective view through rate is, what your effective click-through rate is, what your effective conversion rate is, all that stuff. So number 1, user characteristics. Okay. So that's who you're targeting and how is that person you're targeting, how have they historically been interacting with other ads, right? Then you have your creative. So the creative is by far the most important part of the ranking. That's why it's got this box behind it and it's emphasized, right? So this is how well your creative is done so far, what your click-through rate is compared to other ads, what your view-through rate is. So how long are people watching the video, how many times are they watching the video, how much are they clicking it, how it's converting compared to other ads, historically how have your ads done, right? So all that's being factored into your ranking of your ads right now. Then you have account history. Okay. So account history is your spend patterns, your performance patterns, how long you've been running ads, how much data you've developed in your ad account. All that factors into future performance. And then market factors. So market factors, again, have to do with supply and demand, new advertisers in the market, how are other advertisers doing compared to you as an advertiser. So these are the four big buckets that determine kind of how you perform in the algorithm and how you rank. So this is really important to understand scaling as well, the learning phase, okay? In order to scale profitably and effectively on TikTok, you need to exit that learning phase. If you try to scale pre-exiting, you're going to have really bad results, really volatile results. So this is 3 examples. So 3 ad groups. These lines are kind of number of conversions. So ad group 2 here would be the group you would look at scaling if its metrics were in line, like if it was performing. So you have 50 conversions is the threshold. This ad group passed that threshold. Again, if its CPA is below your target, this might look like something you'd want to potentially scale because it's got enough data, it's stabilized, and it performs. So here are our kind of top 3 scaling methods once we exit the learning phase. So number 1, and this is going from kind of conservative to more aggressive. I wanted to give everyone just different options depending on your tolerance for risk. So the most tried and true and kind of consistent one for us that works pretty well almost all the time is a 30% budget increase at the ad set level, the ad group level, every 2 to 3 days. So again, once we've exited the learning phase, we then increase the budget 30%. We then let it run for 2 more days. We do it again, we do it again, we do it again. And we make sure kind of it stabilizes and continues to perform well. So this has worked very, very well for us in a lot of ad accounts, that 30% threshold. Anything more than 30%, we find kind of rocks the boat. And that's also what our support team and our performance team over there shared with us as well. That's kind of the magic number, 30%. Second option, I had 3 fingers out, 1 finger out. Duping with cost caps. So if we have an ad group, performed really well, exited learning phase, crushed it, and we want to be a little more aggressive, we're not patient for 30% increases, we'll dupe that ad group. We'll set it at a much higher budget, a 50x to bid. So again, if your bid's 100, we're going to set the budget at 5,000. So a cost cap of 100, and we're going to set the cost cap competitively. We're going to make sure we actually get delivery and give it enough room. If you don't set the budget high enough, you'll get very, very little spend delivery. Okay. So that's strategy number 2. Again, duping a winner, setting the budget 50 times what the bid is, setting the bid at a very competitive bid. Usually it's going to be anywhere from like 10 to 20% higher than our kind of target CPA to make sure we get the spend and delivery. We can always modify it down if we need to. And then the final option is staying with lowest cost, but duping and refining. So let's say we launch an ad group for a new account and we launched it broad, 25 up, but we saw that like men 25 to 55 are just by far the best performing. We'll dupe it, we'll narrow it a little bit, but it's still gonna be balanced. And then we'll set a higher budget and relaunch it with our top creative. So those are kind of the 3 top options that we're using right now when it comes to scaling our winning ad groups. Nothing crazy. And with TikTok, the creative is so key. There's not a lot of hacks. It's not like Facebook where it's like dupe something 20 times at $5 a day, right? That's not how this platform works. Okay. And I'll hit on some, last but not least, some retargeting best practices. So we're creating 2 retargeting audiences, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. Middle of the funnel is going to be 100% video views and ad clicks, 30-day ad clicks. Bottom of the funnel is going to be 30-day page views, 30-day leads, 30-day add to carts, and initiate checkouts if you want to add all those too, but at least page views and add to carts and leads. So those are 2 ad groups we're going to create. If you're a low spend ad account, you may lump all these together for the first month or 2 because the audience, you won't have enough people to break it up into 2. So then we have creative on these can be closer to 60 seconds, can be a little longer because we brought people through the funnel. they're familiar with the brand. They're more likely to stay and watch. They're more likely to be interested in the product. So they're going to consume more content. For these ads, product reviews work really, really well. So we've kind of done the unboxing, the fun videos. Now we're doing like, here's the review video. Here's us talking about the product. And on the bottom of the funnel, we're going to start leveraging discounts, deals, BOGOs, things like that. So we might use the same creative, but we're going to layer in captions, 20% off today only. Buy one, get one free, free shipping today. Some type of incentive and deal to get them to follow through and convert. So here's 2 examples. I'll show you guys real quick. This will give me a like 5 seconds to breathe here.
My review on Gully's ashwagandha gummies.
Stop playing. Let's write that.
My review on Gully. They were actually good. Final review of the After Effects coming up next.
This is a great retargeting ad because of the way it ended. So if you're thinking about like ideas for your retargeting, this did so well because of the curiosity loop it opened at the end. It kind of opened this, I need to finish the story. So it ended with final review of the After Effects coming up next. And so the click-through rate on this ad was like 6%. It's still to this day, the highest click-through rate ad we've run on TikTok, at least at any decent spend. So here's a retargeting strategy you can run. Create a video like this, where it's a part 1 interview or part 1 review, end with get my, the most important part of my review, the final part of my review by clicking here. Create a kind of sales page with a video at top. That's the full review and the final part of it that then goes into a sell and actually you can buy the product on there. That ad to funnel flow is really, really powerful. So if you're looking for a retargeting strategy, that's probably one of the best you can run on TikTok right now. And then this is another great example.
I just got home from work, and if you know from one of my previous videos, I'm obsessed with the Posh Peanut stuff. I work in Mother Baby, so a lot of parents do the matching swaddle and robe sets, but I personally have never owned anything Posh Peanut. So they were super sweet, and they sent me a package of goodies with stuff for the kids and for me, so I'm going to show you guys the stuff. Ugh, stop. I've never gotten a box with a handwritten note before. Little yellow romper for my son. It's buttery soft. Then I got little matching PJs for my 2.5-year-old daughter and my 8-month-old son. They're like a ribbed material. They are super soft. Cute little flowy floral dress for my daughter. Okay, and you can't forget Mama. So I got these little leopard print pajamas. They are buttery soft, so cute. I absolutely love them. I'm sold.
So there you go. So those are two really strong retargeting ads that worked very, very well. Again, from a strategy perspective, this 2-part review video going to a sales page with the final part, selling into the product with a special deal, is a money retargeting strategy that I highly recommend checking out. So there you go. So that's, let's see, we're on 2.5 hours on the dot there for the training. So first, let me say, thank you guys for hanging out with me. It's amazing that almost all of you stayed this entire time. It's very, very unusual for something like this, for being on so long. So that means a lot to me, and I'm really, really appreciative of that, especially as I'm like struggling to speak now. My jaws are like, it feels like I just got done like a 2-hour workout. I'm just not used to speaking this much anymore. So really, really appreciate that. I hope that you guys got as much out of this as I put into it, because I put over a month and a half worth of work into this training just for you guys tonight. So I really, really hope you enjoyed that. Zach, if you're still on right now, I gotta make sure my team's still on. You can open the chat. You can open the chat back up for everybody, and we got the Q&A open. So I want to make sure that we're switching on the chat, so we're good there. Okay, so looks like we got the chat back open. And guys, make sure if you're asking questions, make sure you drop the questions in the Q&A, because that's what I'm going to go through to answer questions for that. So what we're going to do, I'm going to share some really exciting news, some kind of big fun announcement I'm going to make right now, and then we're going to take like a 1 minute break, and just so I can just run to the restroom real quick, and then I'm going to answer the Q&A. Sound good? Everyone good with that format there? So we'll do an announcement. We'll do a break, and then we'll dive into the Q&A. But just let me know, guys, remember, if you're asking questions, make sure the questions go in the Q&A. Only use the chat for just like saying, hey, what's up, or sharing your feedback, whatever. So hopefully, again, if you guys enjoyed tonight and you got value out of it, you learn stuff, all that good stuff, let me know in the chat there. I would appreciate any good feedback there. So we have some really exciting news. We've been working for the last year running TikTok, and honestly, I never wanted to do another agency, and I really didn't want to do anything again when it came to client facing stuff, when it came to info product, anything like that. But it's become obvious the last 3 months specifically just how much need there is. We've gotten a overwhelming amount of inbound leads for managing TikTok, for consulting, for coaching, without us ever announcing without us actually telling you we're doing anything. So it seemed like it would be foolish for us to not capitalize on this, to not do something, given just how much opportunity there's in the space right now, and not even from a capitalist perspective, but from a helping perspective. Like I got so tired of Facebook screwing me over and how hard it made it, that like if I can help other businesses get off Facebook and diversify off Facebook and see success on another channel, I'll go all in on that. So that's what we're doing right now. So we are officially, and I apologize for the low res graphic on this. This is how quickly we put this together. We are launching a new agency called Future Traffic. This agency is going to be I believe the first exclusively TikTok focused agency. It's all we're going to do is TikTok media buying, TikTok ads. So we are officially launching that tonight. Futuretraffic.com with a K, so TRAFFIK is the name of the agency, and we're excited. I mean, we have a large waiting list already of brands that is just over the last few months that have wanted to reach with us. Like I said, we're already running TikTok for some of the biggest brands in the world. Brands like Onnit, brands like Posh Peanut, brands like Goalie, brands like ClickFunnels. We have a few more that No BS Skincare, a few more that we're onboarding in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So Future Traffic, we are launching, very, very excited about it. You'll be hearing much more about it in the coming weeks. Now, what does that mean for everyone here? So if you want to work with us, and again, like I didn't bring you on here to pitch you stuff. Like that's why we charge for this. Like if none of you engage with this in any capacity, I don't care at all. Like it's you guys invested in this, and that means so much to me. And I hope that everything you got out of this was more than valuable. So we've gotten, because of just the amount of like inbound requests we've gotten for different options, we've created kind of 2 programs for how we can work together, how our teams can work together. So first option, and you can go to, if you go to this website up here, if you go to futuretraffic.com with a K /work-with-us, it'll take you basically to this page right here. So we are going to be selectively working with a handful of brands on the management side. So if you are a brand and you want us to run your TikTok ads and help you with the creative and all, basically full suite of TikTok ad management to leverage all of our resources, all of our connections, all the stuff that we get as a preferred partner with TikTok, this is a great option. So you can apply to work with us. There's a button on the site. You can click it. It'll take you to a scheduler. You'll schedule a call with my partner, Jeremy, to see if it's a good fit. Again, we're very selective. We're not working with everybody. And yeah, so that's how you work with us on the agency side. And then on the consulting side, we've launched a kind of agency coaching program. And so we've had a lot of agencies reach out to us and either say, hey, can we just send all of our TikTok? We have a lot of clients. We don't want TikTok. They want TikTok. Can we just send them to? So we're working out some deals there. We've had other agencies reach out to us saying, hey, we have clients that want TikTok, but like, we just don't know it. Like, we need to be able to level up our knowledge really fast. We need to get connections to TikTok really fast. We need to get resources at TikTok really fast. So that's the coaching program. So what we're going to do there is we're going to work with a handful of agencies on a monthly basis and basically help train up your media buying team, help work with you and make sure you're up to speed on the latest stuff, the latest strategies, the latest tactics. We'll make sure we get you connected with our support team over there. So that way you can have a managed account. So that way you can offer your clients managed accounts, you can get lines of credit, all that good stuff. So these are the two ways that we can work together, either by us managing your ads or by joining our agency coaching program. And again, through that program, we'll do monthly Zoom calls. You'll have access to it through Slack, all that good stuff. Both of these, the only requirements they have is a $1,000 refundable deposit. Again, because we only want people that are really serious about this, and we already have large waiting lists for both. We thought that made the most sense. So when you if you want to book a call with Jeremy for either one of these programs, it'll require just a $1,000 deposit, 100% refundable. So if you don't want to work with us, if it doesn't work out, if we don't think it's a good fit, we'll refund you, no questions asked. If it is a good fit, it'll just get rolled into the month one. So those are the two options there of working with us. So there you have it. That's the kind of announcement we're working with. So I'm going to run for 1 minute. We're going to take a 1 minute break. I'm going to come back and we're going to dive into Q&A. And I'm going to knock out as many questions as humanly possible. Remember, guys, if you're asking questions in the chat, I'm not going to see them. So if you have a question, please put it in the Q&A box. So on that note, let me just run. We'll get started in just a second. Okay, we're back. Appreciate everyone giving me a minute break there. So we have a ton of questions. So I'm going to get started with the pre-written questions. Let's stop the share. Let's go back over to me over here. I'm going to minimize my box there. And let me also put feature traffic facebook.com/work. Drop that in the send to everyone. There we go. So if anybody's interested in learning more, that's the link to go to work with us. So there we go. So let's dive in. Let me first apologize that our team didn't add they pulled the spreadsheet up for me and they didn't add the names to the spreadsheet. So so if I just read I apologize if I'm not reading your name. I just have the questions. So you got to bear with me there as we go in. So first question, should we run free plus shipping on a front end versus trying to get someone to purchase an $80 item out of the gate? So as I mentioned in the training, unfortunately, you can't run free plus shipping. It's not allowed on the platform. So you have to come up with some different options. Doing it more traditional lead magnet, where it's a digital product or something is more doable. Some type of quiz or poll is more doable. But again, a free product where you're just charging for shipping is not allowed. What are the differences between e-commerce ad structure and lead gen ad structure for offers like debt console, credit repair, mortgage? So, and I know I saw there were some messages in the chat about like, hey, I wish there was more like technical stuff. And I also want to try to get this through to everyone. Like, I was a very technical Facebook media buyer, right? I did all the technical shit, right? TikTok is kind of a equalizer in the sense that it really, and I know I've said this 100 times tonight, but it's true. It really, really, really comes down to the creative. That is almost the entire equation. Like, you can run a single campaign, one ad group, broad targeting with really killer creative and make a lot of money on TikTok, right? It's not going to work like Facebook, where it's you create a campaign and then 8 different ad groups all targeting different layered interests and layered lookalikes and stuff. And then you dupe it 5 times. Like, that is not TikTok advertising. That's why you guys are here. You invested in this so I can tell you what to do and what not to do. So don't waste your time with that, because it doesn't work. At least it doesn't work for any, we have 10 clients right now. We've run probably 25 plus offers. So we have a lot of experience in the platform. And we have amazing reps there and sources there. Like, that just isn't the way it works. It is single campaign, 2 to 3 ad groups tops, each one 20 to 50 million people, 1 ad group broad, 1 ad group layered interest or stacked interest, 1 lookalike, stacked lookalike, each one 6 to 8 creatives. And that's where a lot of your work's going to go in that creative testing, right? So in terms of structure, the structure is identical, whether it's e-commerce or whether it's lead gen, right? What's going to change is the optimization goal and the budgeting, right? Because again, remember, the budgeting formula is 50 times your targets, your average CPA divided by 7. So obviously with the lead gen, you can start with smaller budgets and exit learning phases faster than you can with e-commerce. So we meant to start with larger budgets. Okay. Next question. Have you had success working with creators in the marketplace? Have you tried these creatives on Facebook and tested with Reels? So great question. We've done some work through the creative marketplace. We've been fortunate in that most of the brands that are our clients have so much content already on the app that we haven't had to go to the creative marketplace. We've been able to just work directly with influencers and pull their content. So haven't really had a need to. But in terms of the second question, you're trying the creatives on Facebook. This is where it's really interesting. So it's a one-way street, meaning that Facebook creative that works on Facebook doesn't translate great to TikTok, but TikTok creative that works really well on TikTok translates and performs really well on other channels. So when I'm talking to the clients now and consulting clients now, so I'm like, hey, if you're investing in creative, invest in TikTok style creative, because it's going to crush on TikTok and it's going to do really well on all the other channels, because that's what people want to see, right? Open Instagram right now. Anybody that's watching right now, if you open Instagram, you're going to find probably 40, 50, 60% of the reels are TikToks reposted. So people are seeing that anyway on TikTok, on Instagram. So it makes sense for the ads to feel more native as well. Okay, what's the proper campaign structure to create when we have a lot of creatives, 50 plus lead gen for a webinar? If you have 50 plus creatives, I would definitely do ACO. So I would definitely I would max out my ACO campaigns. And I would just dupe them frequently. So I would run, the first group for that 7-day window, exit learning phase, and then I roll in a new ACO with a bunch of other creatives, right? So I would kind of every week roll in a new max out ACO. So within 4 or 5 weeks, you'll test all that creative. And then how to keep our campaigns spending full budget during scaling. So if you're using, I'm guessing you're using cost caps. If you're using any manual bidding, it's never going to be a guarantee you're going to spend your full budget, right? There's so many factors that determine whether that bid's a good bid for that day. But the best bet is to make sure your budget's 50 times, at a minimum 20 times. So 20 to 50 times your bid. If you don't have that high of a budget, you're going to have an issue spending. Because the way TikTok's algo looks at it is like, it needs to exit the learning phase. So if it knows based on the math of your multiple on budget to bid isn't high enough to exit it, it kind of just like puts you at the bottom of the barrel. It doesn't deliver your ads. So having the right budget and then also, increasing the bid gradually are the two things you can do there. So let's see the next question. Since he's done a lot of political stuff, been able to get approved on TikTok, our rep says merchandise like coins, hats, et cetera, aren't allowed. Yeah, political stuff is a no-go if it is partisan, meaning that if the content of the ad clearly pushes a viewpoint. If it is political in nature, but not pushing a political viewpoint, they do allow that. So again, it's a very fine line. It's very gray there. But we've been able to run stuff. So we've been able to get some stuff through, but nothing that's like clearly pushing political viewpoints. It's got to be like a kind of more generic poll or generic quiz where it's just a question and the opinions determined by the user, not by us. Okay, handling budgets, in particular, how to stop TikTok putting ads into your ad. Putting ads into your ad isn't running because your spend, I'm sorry, it's the way it's worded. If that was your question, it's like, it doesn't make any sense. It must have been some typos and stuff. Okay. With TikTok still being in an infancy stage, the targeting options are broad and don't have a lot of amounts like Facebook, Google. That said, how do you recommend brands begin testing on TikTok? Stick to lookalikes, segment out, lump audiences together, and consolidate ad set. So like I said, you're going to want to, and TikTok has expanded interest significantly. So there's a lot more targeting at TikTok than there were a few weeks ago. That being said, 2 to 3 ad groups, broad, stacked interest, stacked lookalike. Is TikTok as volatile optimization as Facebook or more like Google? So it's definitely more like Facebook, where if you do make changes during the learning phase, you will mess things up. So don't do that. Wait till you exit. The best way to repurpose Facebook ads so they feel native to the Facebook platform. We talked about that earlier. Best way to do lead generation offers on TikTok. I have some survey style landing pages, but they get disapproved because the URL is incomplete. So we kind of talked about that. If you're running just to a page where it's like headline opt-in, it probably will get disapproved. So what you want to do is make that page much more robust so it doesn't look like it's just a contact grab. Can you run TikTok ads from South Africa and the USA? You should be able to. You just need to sign a data authorization document for each country. At least we did for US to run other geos. So you can contact support or your rep and you just sign a form and then you can run. Okay. And I'm doing bear with me guys, because I'm literally at a point where I'm struggling to open and close my mouth. So I'm doing my best here. I see still 65 questions in the live and then like 20 more here. So I'm going to do my absolute best to to get through every single one of these. What I will say is, let's put this out there, because like I'm like physically fading fast. I didn't expect there to be this many questions. If I can't get to every single one, what I will do is I will schedule, I'll either do one of two things. I'll either record, I'll answer all of them, record them and send them to everybody, or we'll schedule a kind of second part for early next week or something, where I'll continue the Q&A. So I'm just giving you a heads up, because I want to be able to give everyone the best answers possible, and like physically my like jaw is shutting down. So it's getting difficult, and there's still like probably 90 questions left to answer, which is just, even if I do one a minute, it's an hour and a half, which just isn't humanly possible. But I promise every single question will get answered. That's all I'll put out there. Every single question that we'll get answered. That's my promise, and I guarantee to you guys. Okay. Let's see. What type of landing page, meaning how should it be structured, is best using for TikTok ads and lead gen vertical, advertorial buy, or straight to offer? How different is TikTok from Facebook landing pages? Great question. Pre-sales do work well. However, with TikTok, what we actually see work best for most offers is straight to a PDP, product description page, like a sales page. We find that like the impulse buy is higher there. People just want to get right to the thing. So we do run some pre-sales. However, a lot of our stuff is going kind of direct to the action page. Now, again, going back to lead gen, if you're struggling to get things approved because the page is too short, you may have to run to a like kind of a step one, a pre-sale content piece to an opt-in, or combine those two into a single page. Do you have any specific strategies or insights for running search arbitrage campaigns on TikTok? We don't run traditional e-com or lead gen. We send traffic to Google search feed and get paid per click. We don't have a brand that we're marketing for. We simply run ads for Google search based on high CPC. So the brand name is already changing day to day. That's going to be tricky. So the one of the policies on TikTok is like basically running ads to pages where it's just ads essentially is not approved. So I would need to talk to my rep. You need to talk, like dive deeper in there, because that's definitely fits into that bucket. So it may be very difficult to run that compliantly on TikTok, at least to my knowledge of the policy. Assuming yes, but can we use TikTok to book calls that make immediate sales? Can I target by location similar to Facebook? So yes, you can do an optimization like that. Location targeting is not as precise, but there is, you can break down by geos and stuff. It's just not as laser targeted as in granular as Facebook yet. We don't run traditional in the info space, there are restrictions on what you can and can't say for certain industries, like making money or weight loss. What are restrictions on TikTok? Are there any resources where we can learn about those restrictions? So I shared a pretty good list of all the prohibited and restricted industries. There is make money stuff. There's pretty loose on that. We're running plenty of stuff in like the finance trading space. Weight loss is a hard no. So anything weight loss is not allowed on the platform. We were trying to work with Lady Boss and we couldn't get anything approved. And then does it make sense to run best performing organic posts as ads? Yes, that's kind of like the Spark ad. So things that work really well organically definitely make sense to use Spark ads to grab the authorization and plug that into your ad account. Do you have to be in front of the camera for creatives to work effectively? Definitely a best practice, speaking direct to the camera, breaking the fourth wall. But you can also do POV style, you can do top down. So it's not a hard and fast, like you have to be in the creative for it to work. As long as it's dynamic, as long as it has multiple scenes, as long as it follows a lot of the best practices I shared earlier, you can still put out good creative. How to work with creators to get material. So we talked about that. We talked about a bunch of different options. What's the best way to structure ads for massive scale and success? We covered structure, we covered scale. Can media buyers also be content creators? Should there be a mix? Definitely. I think anybody can be a content creator. That's the beautiful thing on TikTok. as long as it feels authentic and real. It actually shouldn't feel like an actor or an influencer. Like the better, sometimes the better is just like a real person. If an ad account gets bad performing campaigns from the start, can it result in higher CPMs? If so, should I lower the CPM? How can I lower the CPM creating an ad account? So ad account history is one of the 4 pillars of the algo. So yes, bad creatives, bad performing campaigns for an extended period of time can negatively impact future performance. But also keep in mind that new ad accounts are going to have bad performance in general as you're learning and as you're building history. So I would only get worried if it's like you've been running for a few months and you're just continuing to get, trash results and really shitty. Your creatives, your view-through rates are real low, your click-through rates are real low. Then it may make sense to try something different. I heard there are some restrictions on supplements, but you're doing it. How do you do it? So this is where having a rep comes in handy. You can also reach out to support. The more data you provide in terms of like any documentation, any licenses you have, any like reports from like the fulfillment company, from the FDA, anything like that, any certifications are going to help. Does TikTok restrict reach or spend on ads longer than a minute? So you're limited to in-feed 5 to 6 seconds anyway, so you can't run longer than a minute. Why would TikTok not spend the full budget on ads with lowest cost bidding? So that's happened from time to time. Something to remember, TikTok's still a relatively new ad platform. So there are bugs and there are issues in the platform. So every now and then there might be a bug that's causing it. So the best thing you can do is try duping it and try creating something fresh. Give it a few days and try that. If it's still not doing it, it could be the audience is too narrow. It could be you're not using manual bidding, so that's really not an issue. It could be, check that the ads aren't partially delivering. Sometimes it doesn't get rejected, but it gets marked as partially delivering. So a yellow triangle where it might impact its spend. If it like didn't break the rules entirely, but kind of violates it. So those are some things to look at. How to solve aggressive spending and pacing of the algo. I've actually never experienced that. I've never experienced any accelerated delivery. The only time we've had any of that is if we're doing a day parting, which we use for some of our like lead gen or EDU accounts where we're kind of scheduling it just to run for certain hours of the day. But I haven't seen that. I'd reach out to support. I'd also try maybe just like creating a brand new campaign, brand new ad sets, starting from scratch there. You can get conversions easily at the beginning of the campaign. However, later most traffic comes with no conversion. It seems like bot traffic. How to avoid this? The key there is just setting a high enough daily budget at the start to get those 50 conversion events to stabilize. So if you don't set a high enough budget, what will happen is that you'll get 1-2 days of good results, and then conversion rates will plummet and performance will plummet. So remember, the way this algorithm looks at it is like, if it sees that this ad group is not going to get out of the learning phase, it basically just writes it off. It's like, well, they're not investing enough. They're not going to learn enough. So we're just going to put it in the back burner. So initially it's giving every ad group a good shot. It's like, okay, brand new ad group. It may, we don't know what the CPA looks like. So it could, with this budget, hit the learning phase. So performs really well first few days, but then after it sees what the CPAs look like, it looks and sees whether it's going to exit or not exit. And then based on that, your performance can change dramatically. How do ads get whitelisted? I've had the same ad approved, disapproved, approved via appeals. Yeah, it's very frustrating. If you have a managed account, essentially you need to compile like a month's worth of false rejections. And then your rep can submit that to the compliance team and whitelist the account. Okay. Do I have to log into my client's TikTok account in order to run ads? Or do they have an agency, management console, business manager, et cetera? So what you want to have is a managed account, which is kind of what I've been showing you. That allows you to have a business center where you can get partner requests and add ad accounts to that, manage ad accounts, add team members, get lines of credit, net payment terms, all that reps, all that good stuff. Unfortunately, right now, there's no automated way to do it. So the only way to get those accounts is to know somebody. So like we have a VIP agency person that we email when we have a new client or partner, we introduce them and then they take over and they then get them everything they need. Unfortunately, like I've even reached out to them and say, hey, can you create an application for us or something, a website for us I can send everyone to? Unfortunately, they just don't have the capacity to do that. It's still all manual. So like, I would love nothing more than to say like, hey, I'm going to, all, 200 plus people that got the masterclass, I want to connect every one of you. But like, they would just say, screw off. Like there's no way they would do that. Right. It's just too many people. It's not possible. So unfortunately, all we can do right now is make those intros for our agency clients and for our coaching clients. And again, like, it's not even like, it sounds like I'm just like using that as a tool to sell you shit. Like it's literally not that. It's like, I've pushed them multiple times because I hate that. Like I hate that it's limited. Everyone should have access to create like a agency, like a managed, like an account with multiple ad accounts. Like that seems pretty basic to me. And it's very frustrating that it's the only way to do it is to like be able to, I got to email the woman we know and make a CC email. Like, so that's unfortunately the only way to do it. And like, it's only realistic for me to do that like a few times a month. Like I can't do dozens and dozens at a time. Is it effective to simply take longer form content from our clients' properties and edit it down to fit TikTok? That's the bottom of the barrel. That's the repurposed content we talked about. It's not going to be the best results. If that's all you got and you want to get started, okay. But your best bet is to, study trends, see hashtags, effects, all that stuff. And either you or your team, get some friends, family, shoot some content. Like it doesn't take that long. You're talking about a minute video, less than a minute video. Throw the captions on it, edit it together. It's going to perform way better than repurposed stuff. We kind of talked about compliance on that. Are you tagging creatives like on Facebook? To be honest with you, I've been lazy with that. So my naming conventions have been pretty shit when it comes to ads. I'm using the same naming conventions with campaigns and ad groups. With ads, I haven't been following those best practices because mainly like it's really the creative. The copy is not a big part of it. There's no headline, right? There's far fewer variables. So short answer is no, I haven't. But I plan on eventually starting to do it. Okay. Are you tagging? Hey, okay, huge fan. Rad links here. I'd like to understand what your structure for testing scaling is for e-commerce. So again, we talked about the initial launch process where single campaign, 2 to 3 ad groups, broad, stacked interest, stacked lookalike, 6 to 8 ads. We have a lot of creatives. We're doing ACO, running for 7 days, getting out of the learning phase. Then we're either doing 30% budget increases, we're duping with cost caps, or we're duping, segmenting with higher budget, lowest cost. Does TikTok work for B2B, especially to attract agency clients and coaching offers? So we currently have not run anything in that space. So I don't have any client experience to talk about. That being said, I don't see why not, right? Again, there's 1 billion monthly actives on there. Your customer is probably on there. So what it really comes down to is being able to create the right creative and the right hook to get people off app to a coaching application, to a webinar, to something like that. Okay. For UTM tracking, do you manually embed within the link or is there a build URL parameter? Is there dynamic UTMs? So you have to manually, we're manually creating UTMs. So, you can use GA dev tools to make them really quickly. We're also using Kairos for a few accounts, just adding the SL equals TikTok at the end of it. There's no dynamic UTM builder yet. I'd imagine that's coming down the pipeline. Also another feature coming down the pipeline we're testing is automation rules. Very excited about that. So automation's coming. And I'd imagine things like dynamic UTMs are coming as well. What are some use cases for impression tracking URL? We haven't actually ever used that, so I don't know the best use case there. Editing ads on desktop, music selections different than in the app. So a lot of these questions are about like difference between desktop and mobile. So this is a big thing. What you get in Ads Manager is different than as a user of the app. So if you really want to create the most native looking ads, you're going to need to use the TikTok app, create everything, use text to speech, the captions, all that stuff, the royalty free sounds, and then export. It's more time consuming than doing it right in Ads Manager, but you're going to get the best results that way because there are different features when it comes to Ads Manager and desktop versus mobile. And then it says Facebook reporting is a mess. How accurate is TikTok pixel data and reporting? So great question. This is a interesting one. So essentially, and by the way, so just let me do one stop here. So Zach, if you're, I know you're still on the call. If you can start just saving, because there's 70, it keeps growing. There's 77 questions in the Q&A. If you can start saving all these and putting them into the Google Sheet, because there's no physical, there's no possible way.
I got you, Max.
Answer all
I'm
these
working on
questions
building a
today.
report right now.
I can barely speak anymore. So, but I want, like, they're all great questions, but I want to answer every single one of them. So let's make sure we save all of these as I'm talking. And then we'll decide whether we're going to just do a recording of them or whether we're going to do a two-part Q&A. I'm leaning to doing a second part live because I think the live. I think the live's great. It's interactive. So what I'm leaning towards doing, guys, and we'll share more information by tomorrow, I promise, is doing a second live date, and that's where I'll answer the rest of these questions. So I'm gonna answer like a few more, but again, there's like 80 more questions. I knew there's gonna be a lot of questions. I didn't expect there to be like 120 questions. So so I want to be fresh for all of you guys. So we'll save all these. I'll go through them all, and we'll schedule a follow-up of part 2 live training. So let's get back to this. Where did I leave off? Okay, how accurate is the pixel data with TikTok? So this is a very cool thing with TikTok, and I have theories on this. I don't have an exact answer for why this is the case. I just know it's the reality. I just know it is the case. We're seeing almost consistently. You want to come in here, bud? It's all right. We got a little guest in the background. So we're seeing almost perfect one-to-one tracking almost on every single account. It's very interesting. It's very unusual. We're using Hyros for several accounts. We really only need it. Again, we've matched it up with Hyros. We matched it up with GA, with Google Analytics using UTMs, and we're seeing almost 100% accurate reporting when it comes to purchases, leads, all that stuff. We were seeing with lead gen campaigns. We're seeing with Shopify stores. We're seeing with ClickFunnels. We're seeing with everything. So I don't know why. All I know is that it's very accurate compared to Facebook, which is a total disaster when it comes to reporting. Okay. Since TikTok at the moment is mainly teenage young demographic without as high of an intent of buy as an audience on Facebook, will the amount of traffic from TikTok when testing affect negatively your Facebook pixel, feeding young, non-buyer, low quality data? So we talked about this at the beginning. I think that is the most common misconception about TikTok right now that is just factually inaccurate, right? Maybe a year ago that was accurate. But today on the platform, again, 1 billion monthly actives and growing, 3 billion plus downloads. You have, 32 to 35 million now targetable people in the US English speaking over the age of 35. You have almost 6 million over the age of 55. I shared with you guys the stats on buyer intent, impulse buying, Q4 shopping, all that stuff. So no, you're not going to dilute your Facebook pixel or your Facebook ad account or anything with TikTok traffic. There's high quality traffic when it comes to TikTok, as long as you're optimizing for the right events. Okay. And just one final thing on that, like this was the same talking points with Facebook 6 to 8 years ago. I remember the early days of Facebook ads when we had our first agency, talking to businesses, flying out to Minneapolis, talking to 3M, and then saying, hey, it's like my kids are on that. Like are my customers on it? Can B2B work on that? It's like, yeah, your customers there. There's billions of people on the app, right? So just remember that there's, everyone's basically on the app right now. Okay. Hey, bud. All right, I got time. I'll do one more and then we'll finalize at a later date. He's fine unless we're taking him for his walk. It's walk time?
Yeah.
All right. Can you wave, bud?
Can you say hi?
Can you say hi to, we got everyone on here?
Can you say hi?
You got 68 people. Everyone say hi.
Shake hi. Shake. Say hi.
No. Yeah, that's good enough.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
A little bit.
A little wave. A bunch of people saying hi to you, bud. You got lots of highs coming.
Oh yeah. You're so big. Go
You're very
famous.
popular.
Go famous.
Okay. Okay, they're going for their nightly walk. All right, so I got all the questions saved. Good. Let's see. Okay. Home improvement niche. I'm trying to find one that's like, there's a lot of like 6-parters. So I want to like do one that I can actually answer. I'll do this one. So Zach, I'm going to end with line 32 in the Google Sheet. But I skipped line 30 and 31 because they were kind of bigger questions. So if you just want to actually, I can only view. So if you just want to save those two, and then I'm going to end at 32. So, okay. How to advertise affiliate offers on TikTok and what niches work best. Great question. We really started out when it comes to TikTok with affiliate. Unicorn has always been a performance marketing agency. So we've been running performance for over 2 years with the Unicorn, 2 years for Onnit, 2 years for Goalie. Like a lot of these brands we built deep relationships with. And we're their biggest kind of performance partners and have the best deals with them. So when we started TikTok, we started almost exclusively with performance. So, we treat it very similar though to a brand. Like we don't separate how we advertise affiliate offers from client offers. Now, if you're asking if you're talking more about I'm building a content site or an authority brand, that's a different story, which actually can work very, very well. So I think this is a great play for anybody watching if you're in the affiliate space. Is go to those, the creator marketplace, go to the ad library, those 2 links I shared with you guys, and search gadgets, search those people, find those big organic profiles. I went to one of them that was showcasing the Amazon products and just do that. But do it with offers, pay actually great commissions, not Amazon, 1% or whatever. So start doing ads, the 10 best Christmas gift ideas for the DIY guy in your life, right? And create a listicle and drive traffic to that. The 20 products I found on Amazon that I couldn't live without, right? And go to a listicle, right? 8 things that I couldn't believe I didn't have my garage until now for my workbench. Those are great content pieces, great ads that you could create, run those super broad, and then run those 2 holiday listicles, product listicles, especially right now for Q4. Those are going to crush, right? Listicles always crush Q4, but if you're an affiliate marketer, that angle of kind of TikTok made me buy it style with a list of items going to a listicle with high payouts, people are going to make a lot of money this Q4 doing that. Okay. Shit, I've lost 30 pounds in the last 4 or 5 months. So I've physically, I have endured, but mentally, I haven't pushed myself, I think, this hard in a very long time. So my brain is, I've been talking now for 3 hours and 20 minutes, basically straight. My brain is just kind of, it's banging on the inside of my head, please stop, please stop. So here's what we're going to do. we're going to reconvene as a team over the next 24 hours, next 12 hours, by tomorrow morning. And we are going to set a date. We're going to set a date for a follow-up. Zach and our team, who's been on here, they've done a great job. Thank you guys. And by the way, like, thank you to Zach, Lucas, the entire team, Ronnie, our team, for doing such a great job putting all this together, for organizing this training, for organizing the email, like all this for this. Everyone did a great job on our team. Like, this is the easy part, really. Me, I just come on here, turn the camera on, and like talk, right? Everyone on our team does a great job. So thank you guys so much for everything you've done. So anyway, we'll reconvene. We'll decide on a second date. It'll happen within the next few days, I promise. On that date, I'm going to answer all the rest of the questions. Okay. I actually think this might be beneficial, because what this will allow everyone to do is rewatch the replay, go through the presentation. People that couldn't watch the live can watch it, and then ask more questions. So I actually think like this might be the best format, because you might have like, if I just ended right now and we never spoke again, you guys might have thought like, oh crap, I wish I asked him that. I missed that. This will actually give everyone time to digest and then ask more questions. So I think this is actually the best format. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to call it quits tonight. I cannot believe that 64 of you are still on here. I'm very humbled. I'm exhausted, and I have to be here. You guys don't have to be here. You can watch the recording, right? You can just go chill. So it really means a lot that all of you are still on here right now. So again, we'll reconvene. We have all the questions saved, and we'll answer them all in the next few days. And then one final selfish plug. If you want to work with us, if you want to work with Future Traffic and me directly, the link was posted in the chat. Again, you can go to futuretraffic.com, the Work With Us tab. You can schedule a call with Jeremy to either hire us to manage your TikTok ads, or you can work with us on a coaching basis, and we'll do monthly Zoom calls. You get Slack access to me directly. And we're going to share everything that's working for us, train up your team, all that good stuff. Both those options will get you access to our VIP support. We'll be able to make that personal introduction. We'll be able to get you that managed account, be able to get you that no personal guarantee line of credit, all that stuff, which is worth way more than what we're charging, just that alone. Again, each one of those requires a refundable $1,000 deposit. If it's not a fit, if you're not interested, if you change your mind, if it's not a fit on our end, we'll refund your $1,000. No hard feelings. If it is a good fit, we'll just roll it into the first month. And then one final thing we've done with a few people, if you're interested in, we've done some of these kind of half day, either in person or Zoom training sessions, where we've come on site and trained up your team one time. So it's like a half day or a full day. We'll fly in, or we'll do a Zoom, and I'll personally, and Jeremy will be on it too. We'll work with your leadership team, work with the media buyers, and we've done a few of those. So if you're interested in that, you can also reach out to us. So there you go. I'm gonna go lay my ass down and ice my mouth for a few hours. But again, thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun. I'm having so much fun with TikTok. I'm having fun being back on the forefront of something. This is what it was like for me back in the early days of Facebook, when everything was exciting. It was like everything's like you're on ground zero. It's like every day it's like you're trying something new. It's innovative. There's new features. Like you're paving the way, and there's nobody out in front of you. So this is a lot of fun. It's exciting. We'll definitely do more of these. I think like every few months, I might do like another premium training because we're learning so much so fast. And we're trying. I think, in my opinion, you guys can let me know. Let me know in the chat if you think this is a good idea. I personally think the like quarterly premium live masterclass is way better than doing like a course, right? That just gets outdated fast. Because it keeps it like everything's fresh. Like you guys are here live with me live talking about stuff I'm doing right now. Versus like I created a course 6 months ago for TikTok ads. And now you're buying it today and it's 6 months old. Like, is it relevant? You don't know. So yeah, it seems like everyone thinks this is a better idea. So we may do that every quarter. Then we may do another premium training. And yeah, there you go. Glenn said, let's get some love for AdLeaks members. Tim's a great friend. He's a business partner. Very appreciative of him. I know we have a lot of AdLeaks members in here today. I know we have a lot of people from Deepesh's group in here today. I know we have a lot of people in here from Shine On. I just did a thing with my buddy Eric over there. So if you're here from AdLeaks, if you're here from Deepesh's tribe, if you're here from Tosco, if you're here from Shine On, welcome. It was great to see you all. I love the camaraderie in our industry. I love how like close knit we are. I love the fact that like I can get 200 plus people on a premium training without spending $1 on advertising. So really fun. I had a blast. Thank you guys so much. Now you guys go turn off your computers, go spend time with family, go relax, digest this, and then think about it over the weekend, right? You'll get the replay and stuff. Take some time off now, let it all sink in. And I'm going to do the same. So again, thank you guys so much. Have an amazing night. This was a blast. And keep an eye out for an email from us over the next day, next 24 hours with the time and date for the follow-up Q&A. Awesome, guys. Have a good night.